Twitch.tv/YouTube. Welcome back. I am playing Slay the Spire, trying to extract little nuggets of game design wisdom from the geniuses over at Megacrit. Last time, I managed to win Ascension 15 on Watcher with a little bit of Dormammu style cheese there at the end. Changed up one of the turns against the Time Lord, so we're gonna try it again. Hopefully, getting up to 17 today. Trying to take it really slow and explain all the decisions and win, insofar as that is possible. All right, new run. So we get to look at the map. Let's see what our Meow options are. We get a random rare card, random common relic, 12 hit points, or a random boss relic. Well, 12 hit points is one of my favorite Meow options. 99 gold. Gold is a bit of an inconvenient resource at the beginning of the game because in Act 1 you want to be doing hallway fights, because hallway fights get you like common attack cards which you need for fighting like Gremlin Nub. And if you go to a store early on, you can buy you can buy a common attack card, but you have to spend money to do that, and what you really want to be doing with your money is buying relics. And so that feels a little bit inefficient, because turning money into relics is one of the easiest ways to upgrade your power level later on, especially if you see like a kunai or something. Also, visiting early shops means that you will never get the relics that you see there again, which I guess could be good because you get some information about relics you won't ever have, but you would rather be, if you see a kunai or something, you'd rather be buying it, and you just don't have that much money early on. I mean, sometimes you do, but usually not. And so this lose all gold, max HP plus 12 lets me keep my miracle from my pure water, and it's basically like buying a papaya for like super cheap. Like a papaya usually costs like 200, although it gives 14 health, and this only costs 100. It gives 12 health, so this is a super good option. I would say this is the best Meow option for almost any situation, because 12 health is just a lot. I usually do random boss relic, but that's because 12 HP isn't always available. So we're going to do 12 HP. Maybe I should have looked at this first, because if it's not feasible to avoid a shop, then that was a bad decision. But it looks like it's going to be feasible to avoid a shop, so I'm not too worried about it. So we want to ideally fight 3 elites. It looks like the only route for that is here, here, and there. And that path seems a little bit rough, because you get 0 fires. So maybe let's look for a 2 elite path that's a little bit gentler. Looks like if we go this elite and that elite, we get this fire, that fire, and some question marks on the way to the first one, so that we only do our 3 easy hallway fights before the elite, which is ideally what you want. Yeah, I think that's the route we're going to do. Alright, so let's scroll back to the bottom. Hey Kieran, how is it going? Alright, first turn, so we're striking. We could strike twice. Let's see, so if we strike twice and then we draw Eruption, strike next turn, do we kill him? If we Vigilance, let's see, which one is more damage? If we Vigilance and then get Eruption, strike next turn? I guess the most damage is strike now. I'm doing good, had a good weekend. Worked some on my game. I built a little MVC module for my roguelike engine, so that's coming along. Still just an @ sign moving around at the moment, so not much. Yeah. Just relaxing. So next turn, if we get Eruption Strike, we can just play it without the mana from Vigilance because we have Miracle. So there's the only reason to play Vigilance would be like some sort of 3+ turns from now consideration, and I don't think that's worth thinking about. So this is 9 plus 24, which is not lethal, so we shouldn't do it because we would take 12 damage. So we will take 1 instead. Okay, so now we do want a Vigilance, I think. Well, let's see. So next turn, if we have... that is definitely lethal, because this is exactly what we're going to draw. So all we have to do this turn is block out and enter Calm, and we have guaranteed lethal. Okay. Flurry of Blows right off the bat is a really run-defining card. Sands of Time is also really good. Let's see, which one is better against Act 1 elites? I think Sands of Time is, right? Follow-Up, also really good. Follow-Up is less of a run-defining card than either of the other two. So, do we want to define what the run is? It seems like if we're taking Flurry of Blows, we're sort of forced into Stance Dancing. Yes, the good card. And being forced into Stance Dancing is fine, because that's mostly what Watcher wants to do anyway. And Sands of Time sort of is probably the best card, but requires you to take Establishment for it to be really good. But I think we're going to take Sands of Time, just because like early on with Pure Water, we can cast it even when it costs 4, and then it really rescues us during like fights like Sentries, when it's just like, oh my god, I need the next card to be good. Unfortunately, we encountered a shop anyway. Nothing you can do about that, and we can't buy anything. That is a bummer. So we could kill one with Sands of Time, then we would take 6, or we can block for 10 and take 3. I think we pretty obviously want to block for 10 and take 3. I'll hit the one with less health so that I could theoretically Eruption him to death next turn. There's also a consideration for do I coin out the other strike. Let's see, so if I'm going to Eruption him, I want to do 12 to him with a different strike, so yes, we do want to Miracle out this strike. Okay, we didn't draw whatchamacallit, Vigilance, but we can just block out, or we didn't draw Eruption, we can just block out with Vigilance Defend, which is a little bit silly, but whatever. Ideally, we should be able to finish this fight without spending the potion and without taking any more damage. So. Got a Gambler's Broom. Okay, so we have picked Sands of Time, so we should pick stuff that's good with Sands of Time. Crescendo Sands of Time is pretty good. They both retain, and then going into Crescendo and hitting somebody for 40, or going into Wrath and hitting somebody for 40 seems good, since Crescendo upgrades to cost 0. Sash Whip is good for defraying a little bit of damage while also being an attack, so it's good against Gremlin Knob. Yeah, I think this card is the best against Gremlin Knob, and our next fight might be against an elite, depending on if we take that question mark. I think we're actually not going to take this question mark because we ended up at a shop here and got nothing out of it, so we kind of like need this to be a hallway fight, or need to take at least one hallway fight. Okay, so it's either going to be Gremlin Nub, Sentries, or Lagavulin. How are we looking against each of those? So Lagavulin were great. because we just draw Sands of Time and then wait for as long as possible, and then like go into Wrath and hit him for like 49 plus on the turn we wake him up. So that's pretty fun. Sentries were probably mostly okay. Sentries is always a bit tricky, but we've got some good potions for it. So really we're most worried about Gremlin Knob, and Sash Whip is the best against Gremlin Knob, so I think we're going to take that. Okay, Jawworm. Didn't get very much block. Let's see, can we kill him? So we can do 24, 33, 43. I think we're going to Gambler's Brew to look for Vigilance and possibly Sands of Time. Oh, you know what? Sash Whip is also good. Yeah, so let's just Gambler's Brew most of this hand away and see if we can get another defend or something. Ooh, that's too bad. It's not great to triple defend against Jawworm because he's going to power up eventually, but I have Sands of Time, so I think I can afford to do it and avoid taking the 2. I think we're going to Eruption Strike, and then next turn Sands of Time and finish him off. Turns out 40 is a pretty big number for Rank 1. I love Fear No Evil. That's a great card. Is it good with Sash Whip? Yes. Is it good with Sands of Time? Not really. These are both Stance Dancing cards. We have to take one of them because we're afraid of Gremlin Knob. They both do about the same amount of damage. Going into Calm gets us more energy. This isn't like a super energy hungry deck yet, although we've only added 2 cards to it. And Consecrate is actually really good against Sentries, so maybe we should just take that. It's also possible we have another hallway fight here, and this hallway fight could be Gremlins, which would be pretty bad for us currently, although we do have good exposure value for it. So yeah, I think okay, here's a vision of the future. Sands of Time costs 0, Consecrate costs 0. We're like drawing lots of cards and playing lots of 0-cost attacks. That seems like something that could happen. Sash Whip kind of goes along with that because we're like you know, playing lots of attacks and stuff. So I think we're going to take Consecrate. So do we want to fight this elite? The best upgrades are Sands of Time, because it gets 6 more damage, yeah. And then Sash Whip, because it gets an extra stack of weak. Consecrate does 3 more damage, which is fine. Eruption costs 1 less, which is pretty major. Vigilance blocks for 4 more. But probably we're hitting strikes and defense with this, which I think is okay, honestly. Like, we took the Niao thing, so we've got extra health. If we lose 24, it's highly unlikely we die to the next elite. And worst case scenario, we have to heal at this fire. So yeah, let's do it. 2 defends, pretty bad against Gremlin Knob, but that's not who we're against. Okay, so we're going to pass right now. We're looking for Sands of Time. Let's do it. Yeah, yeah, and then we have to fight Time Lord again. That would be fun. Okay, so we found Sands of Time, and both of our stances are on the bottom of our deck, which is pretty awkward. So the turn we were hoping for of like Eruption plus Sands of Time, we would have to spend Miracle to get, which I don't know if it's worth it. So we might just actually let Lagavulin wake up naturally this turn, which I almost never do, or this time. So he wakes up whether we break him or not, and if we break him, we could do what's this? 12 plus 9, so 11 damage. So it would only take 3 of his health away, and we would be in wrath mode with no guarantee that we'd be able to get out. So I don't think we want to do that, because then he hits us for 40, and that's bad. Even though we do get to hit him. We do actually have a stance potion. So we could like Sands of Time next turn, and then stance potion back to calm, which seems pretty good. So yeah, so let's not pass up this opportunity to get into wrath mode. Because we want to play Sands of Time next turn anyway, because we're going to shuffle. So yeah. Okay, so let's hit him for 40, and then weaken him, and then get back into calm mode. And then I think we're going to defend plus, because it blocks for 8, which is a lot. Alright, Consecrate and Defend Plus are the best cards. Then we could block for 10 more, or we could strike. So we're definitely going to do, we're definitely going to do at least 1 defend. Do we want 5 health or 6 damage? Well, so he is taking the next turn off, and I think I can kill him before he hits us again, so I think the health is more valuable than the damage. Okay, so Sands of Time is getting retained, so we should use the other attacks. So yeah, so Sands of Time is lethal next turn. I forgot that he only does 1. When do the elites get upgraded? That already has elites are tougher on 8 and 3. Huh. Okay, so we got Dreamcatcher, which is kind of garbage, but whatever. We got Consecrate and Halt for the 0-cost deck, and we got Crush Joints for the attack combo deck. So I have no idea what we're doing. Okay, so we're probably... what are we doing? We're going to this fire, and we're going to get an upgrade, and then we'll see where we're at for this fire. Well, actually, we kind of want to be resting, right? Because we get an extra card, which is pretty valuable early. So maybe we rest here. No, upgrades are better. Upgrades are really good. Which is all to say that I don't know which of these cards I would pick. Okay, so which elite are we most worried about for here? It could be Gremlin Knob or Sentries. We've picked a couple cards that are good against Sentries. We got Consecrate. I guess that's the only card we picked. It's good against Sentries. We do also have some hallway fights in the middle. Let's get this one and probably one here. And those could be AoE-centric fights. I don't know why I'm trying to talk myself into a second Consecrate. That seems like an overcommit. Halt is not good yet. It's possible it becomes good later, but we've used our stance potion, so. But Crush Joints is very good, and you know, we've only added 3 cards, so I think adding a 4th card that's just good is reasonable. Okay. I'm most excited about this, but it's probably not the best choice. Probably the best choice is Eruption. Or Sash Whip. Let's go with Eruption. Oh boy. All damage, huh? Okay. We can Eruption Vigilance to just get 9 damage, although we probably want to defend also. We can't kill him. Well, we could with the potion, but that seems like a waste. So next turn, we've got Crush Joints and Sash Whip, so we want to attack last, ideally. Oh, actually, it doesn't matter. Because if we do a skill last, we can Crush Joints and then Sash Whip. Crush Joints and Sash Whip is going to do 16 plus 4, 20 damage. So if we manage to fit in an attack of any kind this turn, and end on a skill, we should be good. So I'll just strike, vigilance, defend with Miracle. Oh yeah, or I could just Sands of Time of Death. Okay, second copies of those, I don't think so. Evaluate is quite bad against Gremlin Knob. So I think this is our first skip. Plus we get an extra card choice when we rest. Lantern's good. I like Lantern. Yeah, sorry, Thief. Okay, these are all bad. Tantrum, we don't really have any like stance exiting stuff, and we didn't pick the stance dance attack, so I'm not taking Tantrum. Tranquility can be good. It's nice to always have a way to get out of Wrath, but and Prey is not good enough. I would want to pick at least one Mantra synergy card before I pick Prey. And that's not the situation we're in, so I'm gonna skip this. Oh man, free chest. Alright. 2 strikes. Womp womp. Wow. Now we get to choose an upgrade. Got some really good question marks. So it's either Sash Whip or Sands of Time, I think. Actually, Consecrate is pretty good against Sentries, and that's 50% of the time our next fight. But Sands of Time is good against Sentries and Gremlin Knob. Okay, it is Sentries. And we got Sands of Time to start with. That's pretty good. We get 4 energy because of our brand new fancy schmancy lantern. So Sash Whip is not very good against sentries because they all have artifact. Probably going to use this explosive potion, so we need to do 33 damage to him, ideally. We've got 26 there, so we only need to do 7 more. And either of these attacks does that. So we probably just want to land 1 hit on him, 1 hit on him, and then Vigilance this turn. Do I care more about him 1 hit point on this guy or his artifact charge? Because I could Sash Whip on him to remove his artifact charge. This guy's dying. Oh wait, actually, we needed 7 marginal damage, so maybe I should strike him and then kill him instead, because 9 is 2 more than 7, he's got 2 more health. So that would be, we're doing 10, 36, 45. So yeah, that's a perfect kill, which appeals to me. So we're going to Sash Whip on him, taking his artifact charge. Okay. Oops, we got Consecrate. All of our math's wrong. Drat. Okay. Do we want to change the math because we got Consecration? Instead of doing Explosive Pot, we could do Consecrate and Strike. Can we kill both of the attacking guys? We've got Eruption, which gives us a lot of energy. I suspect we can kill both of the attacking guys. So this does 52 damage after Eruption. and then Consecrate does 10 damage. So we're doing 62 damage to somebody, which is kind of ridiculous. So this just kills one of them. If everybody's down by 20, if we use Explosive Pot and Consecrate, then he's at 15 and he's at 16. This does 18, and this does 12. 12 is not as big as 15, unfortunately. So we'd have to Eruption on you, and... Wait, is that right? Huh. I guess we're probably Sands of Timing one of these and striking the other one. Let's see. So would we get lethal on the last one? So he would be, the last one would take 20 damage from Consecrate and Explosive Pot, so we'd be at 24, and then we'd be in Wrath. So we would be able to Crush Joints Strike for 16 plus 12. So yes, so we don't have to worry too much about it because we have guaranteed lethal on the last one next turn. Okay, the only thought now is, can we save the Explosive Pot? Okay, so if we Eruption on... Let's see, so this does a ton of damage, so we only do hit the one with the most health with it. So if we hit everything else onto this guy, we have 5 mana, or we have 6 mana with the Miracle, because we're not going to need it next turn. So Eruption, Sands of Time, and 2 strikes and a Consecrate, so we can do everything. So if we do Eruption and Strike on him, that's lethal, because that's 27 plus 10, so it's 37, so he's dead. And then Sands of Time is enough to kill him, so we can at least save the Explosive Pot for this turn, and then the 12 damage on him should be enough to enable us to kill next turn. Okay, so putting all the attacks, all the single target attacks into you, except Sands of Time, which goes into you, and Consecrated. Right? Yeah, so I think we just saved the Explosive Pot too. Neato. That was not a perfect fight. We took 2 damage in the first turn, but it felt like a perfect fight. Ragnarok seems good. I'm a simple man. I like doing lots of damage to Slime Boss. Flying Sleeves combos with other... We have other retained stuff. I don't want to say that Flying Sleeves combos with it, because it doesn't. But it has what I call cross synergy, where it's like, I have lots of things that are all good with Establishment, and Flying Sleeves plays into the dream of it costing 0 and us drawing lots of cards. How we're drawing those cards, I have no idea. Honestly, probably Stance Dancing, because that's how you draw cards as Watcher. Devotion is... Why do we have 2 rares in this pick? Shouldn't that be impossible? Oh, sorry, this is an elite, so it's always possible. We could take Devotion. Devotion's a good card once it's upgraded. Every 4th turn you go into Divinity, do lots of damage. Devotion is also good with the dream of, if we want to try and do lots of 0-cost attacks and card draw without necessarily Stance Dancing, then we could take Devotion and like Pray, because Divinity cards all like give you a turn where you get 3 extra energy, and Pray helps you to draw through. It's not net positive card draw, but it is. It does let you defer cards until later, right? Because on the turn you play Prey, you're sort of spending a card, but then on the turn you play the Insight, you get to redeem that card. So that's something. Also, if you get Master Reality, then the Insight draws 3 cards instead of 2. So it is actually net card draw. So kind of the question is, once we beat Slime Boss, if do we want to like zero in on hoping that he drops establishment? Do we want to zero in on hoping he drops master reality, or like the brilliance or the mantra combo attack? I don't know. Devotion is also good because it doesn't really count as a card in your deck. We know we're not fighting Gremlin Knob anymore, so we're not worried about picking things that are good with Gremlin Knob. We are a little bit worried that Slime Boss kills us, because we're not like super great against Slime Boss. We do have Consecrate, which is good, and Sands of Time, which hopefully should help us get a good pop on Slime Boss, but nonetheless, Slime Boss is pretty scary. Ragnarok, I don't generally take Ragnarok. It's really good if you can strength scale, and we do kind of have the like Sands of Time big attack thing going on, but the only thing that you can really do with the big attack, well, we're not fighting Bronze Guardian at the end of Act 1, which is like the major Thorns enemy you're kind of worried about. I guess in Act 2 there's Spikers, but those are not huge concerns. So if we get Sands of Time and Ragnarok, then in Act 2 we could get the book, I think it's Edumon, that like copies your expensive attacks, but then that doesn't work with Sands of Time after it's been established, so that's not great either. I think let's take Devotion and try it out, because I've never really done like a Divinity build, and Sands of Time definitely says to me you want to play this with Divinity, right? Because it does 26, and then triple that is a large number, and I like doing large numbers of damage. If we're taking Devotion, we definitely want to find a Wallop. Wallop is really key to making that work. You want to go into Divinity mode on demand, and then while you're in Divinity mode, you want to hit people with Wallop for block return. Okay. Alright. We could just Sands of Time right away. It seems stupid. Okay, so we can block for 13 and establish Devotion, so I guess we will do that. It feels a little bit bad to waste the Lantern energy, but what are you going to do? Okay, so we can Vigilance to block, or to mostly block, and then he's going to weaken us, I believe. I don't think we're going to get anything too much better to spend our money on than striking him right now, so let's go ahead and do that. I think we have lethal, because Sands of Time. Okay, yeah, and that's what we want to do to the boss as well. We want to Eruption, Sands of Time, and knock him down to like 20 or something. We could take a second Consecrate for Slimes. Indignation we don't need because we already have Crush Joints, so we're not taking that. And then Third Eye, we haven't taken any block cards yet, and block cards tend to be pretty good in Act 2. And Third Eye is just like a good card to have around. It helps you even out your draws, and evening out your draws is pretty important against the Slime Boss because you need to set up for like one big turn, and you need to block when it hits you for like 40. Let's see, but I don't know. I don't really want to take Third Eye unless I have to. I will take Third Eye. Okay, I think we're smithing because I think we can get through the fight. Devotion. It's a big difference to go from going into Divinity every 5 turns to every. So it's 4 turns if you have 3 mantra, but it's 4 turns and then it's 3 turns and then it's 3 turns. So it ends up being you would go into Divinity 50% more, quote unquote, right? Because over the course of 10 turns, you'd go into Divinity twice with unupgraded, and you'd go into it 3 times with upgraded. So it's a pretty big bonus. Although the first one is delayed by an extra turn. Let's see, what else do we want? Sash Whip and Crush Joints are not super good against slimes because sometimes you apply those debuffs and then they transform and the debuffs are gone. Third Eye, this could really help us block out and plan. Scrying for 5 is kind of nuts. It really lets you figure out what you're doing next turn. So I think we're going to upgrade Third Eye. Alright, here we go. Definitely pretty good to develop Devotion first turn. It's not really anything to think about here because... I guess we could have Miracled just to play a skill to make him vulnerable. But I didn't do that. I don't think it's worth restarting. Okay, we've got Sash Whip is enabled. So, okay, so unfortunately we haven't drawn Sands of Time, which is what we really wanted to do. So next turn I think is going to be Eruption Sands of Time, and we can Third Eye to make sure that happens. But maybe instead of doing that, next turn should just be blocking as much as possible, and just letting him hit us. We can Third Eye and like only keep 2 cards if we get rid of all of them. Okay, so we're definitely going to Third Eye this turn. So let's just do the turn with the information. Okay, so we are not seeing both of our stance cards. So the remaining cards are Vigilance and Wrath. So okay, so if we leave Sands of Time, Consecrate, and Strike, then we would be able to enter Wrath, and then we would not be able to play Sands of Time. So that would be sad. So we don't want to do that. Okay, so we're definitely taking damage next turn, which means we should just get rid of these 2 and do Vigilance, Defend. We want to keep Sands of Time so that we can start reducing the cost. Okay. Yeah, I wish I could have these Defend pluses next turn, but I don't. Okay, so yeah, it's Vigilance, Defend. Okay, so Third Eye is really great here. So we can Third Eye, get rid of the slime, and Consecrate. And then we can set up for Eruption shenanigans next turn with Third Eye, probably. So we don't want Slime, we don't want Defend, we don't want Vigilance. Do we keep Strike? I think we don't keep Strike. But we do keep Sash Whip because it does slightly more damage. Seems like kind of a dubious justification. But we're getting rid of 4 cards. So there's only going to be 8 cards left. We know one of them isn't Vigilance, which is the card we really need. So we're drawing 4 cards out of 8. So we have approximately a 50% chance if we don't mulligan this card. And if we do mulligan this card, there's 7 cards left and we're drawing 5 of them. So actually, it goes from 50% chance to like 80% chance of drawing Vigilance. So we're going to mulligan Sash Whip. The highlight color is yellow because the card's currently active, even though that's not the kind of choice that I'm making about it. Okay, and then we're going to Consecrate for free. Okay, new plan. We're going to enter Divinity next turn and destroy him. Okay, so we want to get him as close to 75 as possible without going over. I think we can't even get to 75, so this is 15 damage plus 8 is 23. Yeah, so we can't even get him to 75. So we just do as much damage as we can. Okay, and then we'll go into Divinity and Sands of Time him and probably kill him. Yeah, GG Slime Boss. Let's see, Liquid Bronze or these two. I think these do more damage. Because this is... Well, okay, so what about birds is the thing? Because Act 2 has birds in it. Okay, Master Reality is something we talked about a little bit. It's kind of a stupid plan, though, because it's like... The whole point of Master Reality is we can, like, now take Prey, and they aren't card draw negative. We are a Devotion deck, so, like, it's not an obviously stupid thing to do. And Third Eye is helping us, like, Third Eye plus draw is really powerful, because you can basically control exactly which card you're drawing, and then draw it immediately, and then play it. So that's the argument for Master Reality. Costs 0 if you upgrade it. Let's see, what else is good with Master Reality? Conjure Blade is good with Master Reality, although obviously we'd have to skip Conjure Blade to pick Master Reality. Conjure Blade is also just good by itself. It's less... Conjure Blade is less of a, like, Devotion thing, because, like, Devotion gives you a mana spike on the same turn as it gives you a damage bonus. So you don't really want to take that mana and use it to cast Conjure Blade, because you should be taking that mana and winning the game with it instead, because your damage is all tripled. And then Alpha is a whole game plan where you can just ignore all the other cards you took and just take, like, defensive stuff and try to cheese people out, which is pretty fun. Worth noting, none of these are Establishment, which is sad. We were hoping for Establishment. So let's see. Can this deck do Alpha? We've only taken one defensive card. That's technically not true. We took Third Eye and Sash Whip. Sash Whip is partially defensive. So we've got one defensive card. The thing about Alpha is it's kind of like... It's a little bit like Devotion, in that they both want you to say, okay, here's your plan. You play this card, you wait some turns, and then later something really cool happens. Devotion is a bit more fire and forget, because you just play it, and then, 5 turns later, 4 turns later, or whatever, you turn into Divinity Mode. Whereas Alpha, you have to, like, really pay attention to your shuffles, and sort of manage when that's going to happen. Although we do have a Third Eye Plus, so we're definitely able to Alpha and then Third Eye to make sure that we're drawing Beta next turn. And then, ideally, the way Alpha works is you Alpha and Beta and Omega all in one shuffle, right? And so you Alpha, like, if you upgrade it, it's innate. And then at some point during the first shuffle, you play Beta. And then, ideally, you play Beta with, like, 2 cards left in your deck, and then you draw Omega next turn and play it. But it's really tough to pull that off. The reward obviously is amazing, right? Like, it's 50 damage per turn, which is, like, plenty to win any fight, including Heart. If you're good enough at doing defensive stuff. But taking how much does Omega cost? Does Omega cost 3? I guess it doesn't really matter how much Omega costs, because if you're fighting any hallway fight, it just wins the fight on that turn. So the mana cost is irrelevant. But if you're fighting, like, an Act 3 Elite, for example, the Omega is not going to kill them, and if it does take 3 mana, here, let's look this up really quick. Omega, it does cost 3. So versus an Act 3 Elite, obviously Act 3 is a long ways away, so we don't super need to worry about that right now. But against, like, an Act 3 Elite, say like a Venomancer or something, Omega will kill the flying knives, so that's nice. But she's also going to be attacking you for like 12 times 2, right? So you can't just take the whole turn off to Omega. But by that time, we need to have come up with other plans for blocking Venomancer. Conjure Blade is great. I love playing with Conjure Blade. It's mostly you want to Conjure Blade with Talk to the Hand, so that you can, do 70 damage and get 25 block on the same turn. Yeah, all of these are build arounds. I think Master Reality fits best with Devotion and Third Eye, but it's also the worst card of the 3. I think Alpha has some sort of cross synergy with the Devotion plan, where it's like both of them are requiring you to pick lots of defensive cards that you can sort of sit around and survive in fights until it's time. But that's both an advantage and a disadvantage, right? Because it means that they have the same types of things are good with both of them, but it also means that they're sort of fighting for your resources, right? So now you have to like both play Devotion and play Alpha and Beta when they come up, and like maybe you don't have the mana to do all that on that turn. Also, we don't know if we're getting an energy relic yet, so it's hard to evaluate what our mana economy is going to look like. I generally assume that I am going to get an energy relic or a Snecko Eye, but sometimes it's not true. So yeah, Conjure Blade's the best card, but I think we're going to pick Master Reality. I generally don't really like Master Reality, especially since it doesn't turn innate. But there's a card that generates safety, which is I think a common, and Safety Plus is a 1 mana card that blocks for 15, and blocking with Retain until Divinity is up is super good. So I think we're going to pick Master Reality, despite it making me throw up in my mouth a little bit. So birds. How do we currently deal with birds? Explosive Pot is good against birds, and Consecrate is good against birds, kinda. But Liquid Bronze is like super good against birds. But I think we're okay with these. Maybe I'll. No, I think I like the Explosive Pot better because it's better against shapes. And I like the Attack Pot better because it's good with Wrath stuff. Okay, so this is probably the best relic here because we have Preserved Insect. So we want to be doing lots of elite fights, and this is really good in elite fights. So that's really tempting. Also really good is Snecko Eye. Snecko Eye is just a really great card. It's a bit different version of reality. It's not quite the dream where all the cards cost 0 and we're drawing a lot, but it is drawing a lot. It also makes Sands of Time cost less, and so you can end up with like a one mana Sands of Time that you retain for 1 turn, and then it's 0 mana. And the Sands of Time interaction is pretty strange. So it's not like an entirely positive thing, but being able to cast Sands of Time just once is like pretty good. So that's exciting. Empty Cage is probably getting rid of 2 strikes. So we're in kind of a weird spot because we have 2 upgraded strikes. So there's some events that are like Purity or Elegance, right? Like you either upgrade all of your strikes and defends or you remove a card. And there's also like Vampires where you can trade all your strikes for bites. And both of those events are like slightly less good because we do have 2 strike pluses. Um, and generally, the reason empty cage is bad is because you get rid of 2 strikes and then you run into one of those events and you're like, those strikes wouldn't have been so bad anyway, because either they would have been upgraded or you would have traded them for bites. And the vampire event in particular, it doesn't care how many strikes you have left. It always gives you 5 bites. So if you spend a bunch of resources getting rid of strikes, then it's like, well, here are your bites back. I see that you dropped them. Okay, so Slaver's Collar obviously is super good. I wish that you could see the Act 2 path so that we could verify that we're going to hit a bunch of elites, but we don't know that. So, okay, so what do Act 2 elites look like? So if we have Preserved Insect and Slaver's Collar, then like Book of Stabbing has less health, and we have more mana to deal with him, but is more mana really helpful? It isn't really yet. We never actually found any card draw, so getting more mana doesn't actually let us do more things. It just means that we have more leftover mana. Or we can like cast Sands of Time earlier, which is unnecessary and silly. So that's kind of the danger of Slaver's Collar, is like on our first turn we'd have 5 mana, and there's no way we're spending 5 mana. Like, it's just, it doesn't do anything. So the best relic is Snecko Eye, but, you know, I need to pick more expensive cards and more cards that draw, which is pretty good, because we also, like, need to find Wall Up and stuff. With Master Reality, you can sort of mitigate the downside of Snecko Eye. So cards that you create in your hand, like the safety I was mentioning, do not have their cost randomized. Your cost is randomized when you draw the card. So if it's created in your hand, it does cost 1. And so you can kind of mitigate the downside of Snecko Eye, which is like, oh my god, I have 8 cards in hand and they all cost 3s. So I kind of have to pick one of them and that's my whole turn. Is a lot less bad if you can just say, okay, I pick one of these crappy cards, but then I also play safety and block out. That's not too bad. It does feel bad to not pick an energy relic, especially when such a good one is available. And with Preserved Insect, I am pretty highly incentivized to go after a bunch of elites. But I think Snecko Eye is probably the pick, because it's so good, and it gives us the card draw that we need to like power through the deck with Third Eye, and it's a bit of a test, right? So like with Snecko Eye, it's the likelihood of 2 things is increased. The likelihood of you winning the whole game is increased, but the likelihood of you dying on like the 3rd floor of Act 2 is also increased. So if you can survive with Snecko Eye, then you're in good shape. But before picking Snecko Eye, you should take a look at your deck and say, okay, do I survive if I pick Snecko Eye? And like, because bad turns happen, you know. But I think this deck is in pretty good shape because we've got 2 defend pluses. Like, we're in really good shape with upgrades. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to take a look at Watcher cards for a second. The question being, are there any expensive Watcher cards, because expensive cards are good with Snecko Eye? Are there any expensive Watcher cards that combo with either Devotion or Master Reality? So do they generate Mantra, or do they generate cards? So let's swap over the view here and take a look at Watcher cards. Okay, well, we're going to sort by energy first. Okay, so like Omniscience is super good, doesn't generate cards or Divinity, although I would say that it does combo with Devotion, because you can double play a Devotion in your deck. Okay, Sands of Time is expensive, but we already have one, we probably wouldn't use it. Let's see, Vault doesn't combo with either one, although it does make your Devotion trigger twice. Vault is also just really good with Snecko Eye, because if you get that bad turn, you can just be like, nope, we're vaulting out of that. Wish doesn't combo with either one. Ragnarok doesn't combo. Well, Ragnarok kind of combos because it does so much damage if you're in Divinity mode. Diva Form doesn't really combo with either one. Study does combo because it does draw those insights, and I probably do need to pick up a Study at some point. Yeah, so Study is really good both with Snecko Eye and with Master Reality, so that's something worth considering. Protect is actually pretty bad with Snecko Eye. I don't like Protect specifically because, at least without Establishment, you can end up with a 3-mana Protect stuck in your hand forever, which is really uncomfortable. Fasting is bad with Snecko Eye also. You really need to have 3 mana, because otherwise your whole hand can be literally unplayable, which is horrible. See, Worship is good. Worship is expensive and combos with Devotion. And it retains? No, I don't want it to retain with Snecko Eye, because then it can cost 3 and get stuck. Wheel Kick is extremely good with Snecko Eye. But it doesn't really combo with either Master Reality or Devotion. Reach Heaven combos with Master Reality. I don't know what Through Violence Plus does, because I've never been in this situation. It does 30 damage. It's actually pretty bad with Snecko Eye, though, because it's supposed to cost 0, and instead it costs random. Swivel is quite good with Snecko Eye, just because it reduces the cost of something to 0. Wallop is good with both Snecko Eye and Devotion, so that's a combo. But Wallop is something we wanted to find anyway. Like, Wallop is just a great card. Scrawl is really good, but doesn't combo. Okay, so now we're down to things that cost 1. So. Let's just search for Create. We want... okay. I'm just looking for things that that work with Master Realities at all. Why? Let's see. How does this work? Okay, so put is the phraseology they use for putting things into your hand. No, it's not. They're inconsistent. Okay, so there's a 1-mana card, and there's 2 of these. One of them puts a safety, and one of them puts something else. So I'm going to search for safety. Okay, and it just says add. So we'll say add. So we've got add smite or add. So there's multiple ways of adding smite. Those are all good. Deus Ex Machina is crazy with Master Reality. Adding 3 Miracle Pluses is nuts. So Deceive Reality is what the card I was talking about that gets you safety, and it is actually uncommon. It's not common, although I feel like you usually see one. Carve Reality and Battle Hymn both add smites. Foreign Influence does add upgraded versions of those cards with Master Reality. So that's it. So I'm kind of looking for one of those 2 cards. So I think, I think we're going to pick Slaver's Collar, just because I'm not super bowled over by the Snecko Eye synergies for Watcher in general. There's just not enough card draw. You need that Wheel Kick, and I don't want to pick a Wheel Kick with this deck. I've got Sands of Time already serving my purpose. So we're going to do Slaver's Collar. Okay. Alright, so we've got almost 300 gold, so we probably want to hit this shop. Um, Actually, maybe we want to go this route and do this fire elite shop. And then we can get another fire and another elite. And end up hitting 3 elites. So that seems good. I don't know if we even want to hit more than 3 elites. If it's possible. Because that's just dangerous. Elites are scary. Okay, yeah, I think that's the best path. It's possible we get all our money stolen, but we do quite a bit of damage, so I think we can probably defend off those thieves. Alright, we're always doing this because it's free. I guess maybe I should think about doing an attack last, so that I can Sash Whip. But I think we're just playing all of our cards, so... Aha! Sash Whip! Called it. Although the weak doesn't matter. Actually, that was a mistake. I need to go into Eruption. It's not a big enough mistake that I'm going to go back, because we have lethal 99% of the time here. What was on the last card? Okay. Perseverance is another establishment synergy card, but we did not get establishment, so it's sad. Okay, so we need to start thinking about what we're picking for this elite. So we've got 2 more hallway fights for sure, and then possibly 1 more, and possibly a shop also. So during those 2 hallway fights, we need to set up for Gremlin Leader, Slavers, or not Slavers, oh, they are Slavers. Yeah, Gremlin Leader, Slavers, or Book of Stabbing. And which of those are we worst against? I think we are worst against Slavers. We have Consecrate that does a little bit of AoE, but we need a lot of setup before like Sands of Time is good, and Slavers come at you right away. Book of Stabbing is also pretty aggressive, but he doesn't do that much damage on turn 1. He only does like 14, whereas Slavers do like 30 or like 25 or something. So I think we're most afraid of Slavers. So how do we improve our chances against Slavers? Well, Protect, I think, probably is the card against Slavers. I like Perseverance better, especially once it's upgraded. It's like such a sexy card. But like Protect just blocks for so much. And we have to face the reality that we did not get Establishment and probably will not ever get Establishment. Which is very sad, but no, I think we have to get Establishment. We just have to assume that's going to happen, because if we're picking like Smite and Safety synergy cards, which we are currently with Master Reality, sorry, let me switch back to the game view, I forgot. If we're picking... does Audible come like the book reading service? Oh, is there a card called Audible? You're trolling me, right? Yeah, you're trolling me. Okay. So I need to pick cards that synergize with Establishment, because I need Establishment to make the Strike or the Smite and Safety synergy cards good. So we're going to pick Perseverance over Protect, because the card's better and it combos with Establishment. Oh, damn it. I'm not even getting paid for that advertising. Okay, so we're spending our whole turn setting up for stuff by Master Reality, Devotion, Strike, and Third Eye. I think I'll Strike last so that I, although it doesn't really matter because he has artifact charges, but Third Eye, what are we looking at? So we're going to keep Perseverance for sure. We need to block for 11 next turn, and then 22 the turn after that. So I think we'll keep these cards. Blocking for 16 maybe is too much. I think we'll just keep the Vigilance. Maybe we should just keep the Defend Plus, because it's cheaper. Maybe we should just keep Coconut the Cat. Wait a minute. We've got food. We've got an orange blankie. Your life is great. Um, let's see, do we want vigilance or not? Cat time! This is tough. I don't want to spend that much mana next turn on blocking. I want to be hitting him next turn. Okay, so we got Eruption, so if we really do want to hit him, we can bring some pain. But let's see, maybe this is the time when we use our attack pot. So if we Eruption, Crush Joints, and Strike, we're doing 9 plus 16, which is 25, plus 12, which is 37. And then if the best case scenario for attack pot is not going to do anywhere near that much damage, we need to do 40 damage with the attack pot. So I don't think we're killing him this turn. So we probably don't want to go into Eruption at all, which means we want to defend Crush Joint Strike. And hope that we get enough block next turn. Okay, so we're always consecrating... Wow, this is really bad. Let's see. Is it possible we get an attack pot that takes off both of his artifact charges? Like, Poison Stab doesn't do it. Is there any attack that takes 2 artifact charges? I think not. I think the most is 1. So that's not happening. There are some attacks that block, but you get like a dash or something. That'd be pretty good. I think we're going to drink this right now. Wallop. That blocks. It doesn't actually block right now. We can't play Signature Move because we have Sands of Time. We can go into Calm, but it seems like that's all we're doing. And then we just want to block as much as we can. Which is not much. Well, that hurts. Let's take a look. We want to get Vengeance here. Vengeance ends the fight once we get it. So we'll just mulligan everything else. Alright, we got Eruption. I keep forgetting the name of this card. Eruption. Good thing we spent that potion, because now we got a new one. Fasting Plus. We have plenty of energy during elite fights. Fasting Plus is pretty good with things like what was this card called? With Deceive Reality, because you are playing 2 defensive cards on one turn. Generally, I only take Fasting if I have at least 4 energy deck, or have whatchamacallit? Diva Form. But it is a really good card. It makes it a little bit harder for us to play Sands of Time, but once we get Establishment, because we remember we are assuming we get Establishment during this run. If we don't get Establishment, we're just going to lose at some point. Also worth noting, this would be our 20th card, so we're getting up there a little bit. Fasting is really good at blocking, in particular. The dexterity is probably more relevant than the strength for this deck. But also, that strength, there's implicit strength scaling during divinity turns, because all your damage is tripled, so if it's +4 and then tripled, it's really +12. We could take Protect, but Fasting Plus, come on, it's such a great card. Ooh, free chest. Frozen egg. I mean, I'll take it because I don't care about the heart. Oh shit! We were talking about this. So there's a 1/3 chance that this combos really well with Sands of Time. It makes it cast twice, but it costs like 15 health. But we can afford that. We're gonna go to this fire probably. All right, let's read the book. Oh, we got the bad one. Darn. Actually, this is pretty good. We have frozen eggs, so this power is going to be upgraded. I think. Does that work like I think it does? Maybe it doesn't. Because it says when you add a power card to your deck. I thought those worked together the right way, but maybe they don't. Alright, so now we just have to survive this hallway fight. Oh boy. Well, we got a second fasting, so we're gonna be really hungry at the end of this fight, most likely. But we definitely need it right now. So let's use it. Yeah, and it did not get upgraded, so those do not work together the way I hoped. Okay, so we're gonna third eye. Let's see what's coming up. We always want Sands of Time. I think we don't want Eruption, and these are unupgraded. And we're going to keep Sash Whip. Okay, so we want to attack last, so we're going to Crush Joints, Defend, Strike. Why are you saying F in the chat? He's not going to kill us. We're not going to die to no snake plant. Okay, so we're going to weaken him and then go into Vigilance mode. So if he's weak, he does 6 times 3, which is 18, and then we block for 11. It takes 7. And that's with Miracle. Yeah, okay. Right. So we can fasting and then have 1 mana per turn? I don't know about that. Do we have anything that combos with Master of Reality, or did we just take it for no reason? Cool. What the hell was I thinking? I guess I could, like, rewind the tape, but, like... it's totally a useless card. Alright, well, I guess I hope it becomes useful later. Let's see, so I'm planning on... yeah, that one is worth the F in the chat. Okay, so we're definitely keeping Perseverance. We should probably play Strike. We only have time for either Devotion or Master Reality. I don't think this fight goes long enough to do Devotion, but I guess it does more than Master Reality, so... No dice, huh? I really wanted that Eruption this turn. So we can block for enough that we're taking 9. Let's see. We can almost kill him. Oh, we can kill him if we. Yeah, that's lethal with the explosive pot. Explosive pot's usefulness is wearing off quite quickly. It is good against Gremlin Leader, so I would like to keep it. The Power Pot is probably better. Okay, so if we Perseverance, Defend, Block, we're only taking 3 damage. So I think we're probably okay for now. We don't need to freak out and spend a... Oops, we can't do all that because fasting. We are too hungry. I still think we're going to survive. We're going to get Eruption next turn, and then we're going to Sands of Time him. We did not get Eruption. Let's see, Eruption is upgraded, right? So if we fasting, we can still play it. Oh wait, we have lethal, right? Yeah, okay. No more thinking. Here's study, so we can finally have something that actually does something with master reality. We also have access to just cut through fate, which is a good card. Or we can take insight, which also combos with master reality, and combos with fasting because it blocks. Also, I don't really like study, even though this is study plus, which is so much better than regular study. Regular study costing 2 is really bad. I think we have to get something out of this master reality combo, or else we're going to be really sad. We need more block, so we're going to take evaluate. Okay, and then we need to rest really badly, and we get a card. Bowling Bash is good against 2/3 of the Act 2 elites, and it's really good with fasting. So doing 11 times 3 is pretty good. It's not upgraded, and it is an attack when we need block more than attack. So it's of somewhat dubious value. But I'm going to take it because we're a little bit desperate for this fight in particular. We have a good chance of dying, so I'm going to try and improve that. Okay, it's slavers, and they're tiny. And we got establishment! Okay. So we're probably going to fasting and evaluate this turn, unless something really crazy is happening. Okay, we're gonna, let's see. We're definitely gonna use explosive pot this fight. Should we use power pot right now as well? It's kind of hard to say. Power pot does not do the same thing for Watcher. Yeah, I wish that establishment were like a card reward, right? Like, that's when we really need it. Yeah, this whole run is just like, hopefully we get establishment, ... Okay, so they are attacking for 34, unless I can kill one of them. And I can block for 14 plus 8 if I fasting. Man, fasting's good. So I guess I'd need all that block to hopefully survive. Okay, let's find out what's in the power pot, because it seems like we're in danger. I guess I'll take another devotion, because we don't have any way of getting into calm soon. Maybe like water is better, because once we draw vigilance, we are going to want to play it. And it would be nice if that blocked for 13 instead of just 8. Oh wait, I guess it's more than that by 4 for both because of fasting. Yeah, I don't think we have time to wait for devotion, so we're going to like water and hope. We're also going to fasting and defend and evaluate. And then we're going to strike. We definitely can't eruption here because we take too much damage. Alright, that might look like a bad turn, but in reality it was a pretty good turn. So we can kill you with that and explosive pot. Although then we get netted. But we also take 0 damage, so we don't really care about the net too much. Because we can just hopefully insight and like vigilance and stuff. Yeah. So we're gonna kill you. Block out and establish master reality? No, I think it's more important to get the 10 damage, but on who? This already does 30, so if I put 10 damage on him, then I can kill him whenever we come off of net. But if I put 10 damage on him, then Consecrate kills him. I think the damage is less likely to be wasted on Taskmaster, so I'm going to do that. Okay, we need to find Vigilance. We didn't do it. But we can still block out pretty easily, so I guess we're going to do that. There's Vigilance. We don't need these. And everything else is in attack, so we can't play it. Okay, so we can just casually murder you, and then win the fight. Okay. Ooh, Duality. I love Duality. Okay, Duality's great. Oh, I thought we had Black Star, but we had Preserved Thing. Okay. I was like, where's my other relic? Yeah, why are the Slaver Stitch Jigs? I don't know. It's a good question, Hoddington. You have a checkmark next to your name, and that's cool. That's some pretty swaggy icons you got there. So Pressure Points is bad because this is Act 2 and we haven't done any mark stuff. Rushdown, we don't do that, so we shouldn't take Rushdown. Also, Rushdown, just I always forget about it, and it messes me up. And Empty Fist is not moving this deck in a direction we want to go. We need to block more, and Empty Fist doesn't do that. So we're going to skip these. Alright, store, getting a relic. Oh my god, we got Orange Pellets. Orange Pellets plus Duality is so crazy. So this is now what the run is. We're playing as many attacks as possible, and then some other stuff. And we have lots of powers, so we should be okay. We are a little bit concerned about mana now. So we're definitely buying Orange Pellets. Yeah, I know, right? That was such a crazy turn. It was just like, oh, great, Duality. This is amazing. And then it instantly Orange Pellets. It's like, wow. Okay, so we're going to buy Orange Pellets, and then we're going to figure out whatever else we have to do to make that good. Probably when we're going to card remove. Let's see. Okay, so we've got, what's our attack skill balance like? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 attacks. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 skills. That's a pretty good balance. So we're not like way off base. We could remove a strike, which is just always good and brings us closer to balance. Yeah, yep, fasting. Really great point. Yeah, so fasting plus Orange Plus. Oh man, we still haven't found establishment, but we need it way less now. That's definitely a win condition. So I think we're going to remove a card just to make Orange Pellets more consistent. But if we remove a strike, then we are removing a Duality trigger as well. Also, we should probably buy a Flex Pot because we have Orange Pellets. Is there anything else in this store that I need? Prostrate. Is kind of good. We do have some mantra synergy, and having a 0-cost skill helps bring the Orange Pellets online a little bit. Cut Through Fate, honestly, is probably better though, especially since it's on sale. It triggers Duality. It's on sale. It helps me find skills and powers, and finding powers is probably the hardest part of getting Orange Pellets really ticking. So if we buy Cut Through Fate and the Flex Pot, and can we do a card remove? Yes, we can. And we're still not spending all the money if we do that. So is there a better thing we can do? We could follow up. Follow up is also good with Orange Pellets and Duality. But it doesn't draw any cards. So I think we need the Cut Through Fate. So we're going to take that. And we're going to card remove a strike because our deck's getting too big. Yeah, so the fasting does seem really good. I already have a fasting plus, and so when I saw the second fasting plus, I was like, I can't take that. I would be a 2 mana deck. But then I have orange pellets, so I should definitely take the fasting plus. You're totally right. It's way better than the flex spot. It's like a flex spot, but it's in your deck. So we're gonna take that. Good call, Hoddington. Strawberry's great. We still need to heal here, so that we don't die. I don't know if we want another Cut Through Fate. We also just added like a bunch of cards to the deck. We had Bowling Bash, Cut Through Fate, and Fasting Plus, all like pretty quickly. So Cut Through Fate triggers duality, helps me find orange pellets fuel, and like makes the deck more consistent because it has draw, but it doesn't combo with like Master Reality or like Sands of Time. And let's see. So I like to keep decks like at or below 24 cards. So like we're pretty close to that limit. The next card is probably the last one, and it seems like we want that card to be Establishment or Deceive Reality. Cut Through Fate is neither of those, so we're going to skip it. Okay, we got a free Master Reality to go with our real Master Reality. I forgot that this skill is always available, so it's pretty easy to trigger orange pellets. Okay, so the deal with orange pellets is we want to play both of these strikes and the fasting before we trigger orange pellets. We could trigger orange pellets with one of those, but the strikes both give us debuffs and the fasting gives us a debuff. So we're going to play all three of those and then purge the debuffs. So I really want to kill the Fat Gremlin because he debuffs us. We probably want to purge our debuffs again next turn, but we don't necessarily know that we can do that yet. So I think it's probably worth killing him, unless we're super concerned about the damage, which we might be. So we're going to use this defend after the fasting. So that's going to block for 12. And he's hitting us for 18. The Sneaky Gremlin is going to survive, so it's going to be 28 damage. So we probably want to use the Speed Pot too. So then we're blocking for 17. We could also just kill the Sneaky Gremlin and trust that we will find a way to purge the Fat Gremlin debuff, but probably the Fat Gremlin debuff will decrease our block next turn. We also get 2 extra dexterity for this, so we're actually blocking for 19 instead of 17. Okay, so we're going to double hit the Fat Gremlin, and then we're going to fasting, and then now we just need to do a skill, so we'll do defend. Okay, so now we've got 6 dex, 4 strength, and no other problems, although we are taking some damage. And I guess we'll play this Master Reality to get it out of the way. It's unfortunate that Master Reality does not stack in any way. If you play 2 Master Realities, nothing happens. It can't be upgraded twice, so there's no advantage. I could just play Master Reality right now, but it does. We can use it to trigger orange pellets, so it is something. Okay, so we don't have a power in this hand, but we don't really need one because we've only got 1 attack. I'll take the Sash Whip, please. And then I guess we'll try and set up for next turn as best we can. So we want to Third Eye and then Evaluate, so that because if we saw Insight in the Third Eye, we would leave it there. So we want to see an extra card by doing it in this order. Bowling Bash is really good. He's going to summon dudes, so we're going to leave that. I don't think we want to be Interruption next turn. And I don't think we want to do 2 basic defends. We can't end this turn on an attack, and we probably don't want to do Crush Joints and then Bowling Bash, but maybe we do. Honestly, like, if we can get enough defend to block out next turn, Crush Joints and Bowling Bash on the leader, it does quite a bit of damage. So let's actually get rid of this defend also. And then we have a pretty good chance of being able to... oh, I'm sorry, I misread Crush Joints, so it's a skill. So we're definitely going to end this turn with a skill. So this is going to be active. So Crush Joints, Bowling Bash on Gremlin Leader seems like a great plan. And then the only concern is, can we block out? So I will leave both defense. And we're going to develop an Insight Plus. Oh, I misread his attack. Okay, so we can block out. And we can also Crushing Joints, Bowling Bash. Crushing Joints, Bowling Bash is a lot less good because he doesn't have minions. So maybe let's see. What would we like to draw? We would like to draw Fasting, because then we would like to draw Fasting and Sands of Time, because then we can purge the Fasting debuff. So let's take a look. We did not get it. We did get Sands of Time, so that's something. We could Crushing Joints, Sands of Time, but then we would take 30 damage, so I don't think we want to do that. I think it's just going to be Crushing Joints and block, which is kind of boring. Alright, we found Fastings, and he is distracted for a turn, so we can just like Fasting, Eruption, and then Sands of Time him next turn. Kind of awkwardly, I think I'm going to Miracle to trigger the orange pellets. So I'm going to Bowling Bash for an extra dex first. And I guess I'll play Devotion, just to get it out of the way. I guess none of this matters because I just obviously have lethal. Okay, Pair's good. Almost up to 100 health, which is pretty crazy. Let's see. So Scrawl jumps out at me. It's being a really good card. However, it is not Deceive Reality or Establishment, which are the two cards we're sort of looking for. But honestly, is the Deceive Reality thing even what we're doing anymore? Because it seems like yeah, it's true. It's like we're having a lot of cheat days with this watcher. We're fasting, and like I think what's really important about fasting is that you believe. You have to believe that you're fasting until you eat. But yeah, Strawberry and Pear with 2 fastings. So we don't have enough mana to like super take advantage of Scrawl. We don't have like a collect or something. So I think we're gonna pass on it. Crush Joints we already have one of. We need an upgrade for our Crushing Joints, but that problem is not solved by taking another one. And this is not a deck that specifically combos with Wave of the Hand, so we're not going to pick it. Okay, here's a fire. This is actually kind of a question mark fire. We could heal here, or we could upgrade. The best upgrades are like Cut Through Fate gets us an extra card. Evaluate gets us... No, that's not a good upgrade. Consecrate is kind of good. So at the beginning of Act 2, you have a 2/3 chance of encountering an AoE-centric elite, but I just did Gremlin Leader, so now I only have a 50% chance. Could be either Slavers again or Book of Stabbing. And so the Consecrate upgrade is probably not worth it. In fact, if we could remove Consecrate from the deck, that would be great, although we'd probably remove the Strike first. Sash Whip is a pretty meaningful upgrade against specifically Book of Stabbing. Um, Bolting Bash is good against slavers. But how much health would we get? 29? We kind of need that health. Let's see. So we're going to fight Hyper Beam Man. Let's see. So if we heal here, then we're pretty unlikely. We're almost certainly not dying to this elite fight. And then if we want an upgrade, maybe we'll get something at the elite fight that's more meaningful than Cut Through Fate, which I think is what I would do here. I mean, Cut Through Fate's great, and I like the upgrade, but it honestly, it only gets you one extra card, so to look at. So yeah, I think we're just gonna rest here. Oh my god, we could just take a Cut Through Fate plus. Yeah, not dying is pretty important. Gee. I mean, Cut Through Fate plus is great, but but excuses are also great, you know? When you make excuses about stuff, it's really fun. Yeah, we already have a Cut Through Fate. A second one would be good. I don't know. I mean, if we had 5 mana, for sure we would take another Cut Through Fate to try and like cycle through the deck faster, or like a Diva Form or Collect or something. But that's just not. It's not what the deck's doing. So I don't think we can afford that. We need to like. We're trying to trigger orange pellets once a turn. We're not trying to, play 7 cards every turn. So we could do this hallway fight or this question mark. Act 2 question marks are actually pretty good, and we've missed a lot of the question marks. We've just done a lot of like fires and elites and stuff. So I think we're going to hit this question mark because the marginal value of a hallway fight is like pretty low right now. It like gets us a little bit of gold and then a card choice that we probably turn down. So we're going to try the question mark. Oh geez. Well, it's a good thing we took the health because we were about to take 2 elite fights in a row. Ooh, we got another fasting. Jesus. Okay, so we can double fasting and trigger orange pellets this turn, which seems pretty good. It's like a pretty PogChamp situation. We actually don't really care about bear hitting us because of orange pellets. Orange pellets is such a game-breaking card. It's kind of insane. So I think we want to we want to do both attacks and then third eye, so that we can purge the debuffs with the most possible dex bonus. And then 16 plus 12 is 28, which is not enough to kill. It doesn't? No, it's oh, that's true. He'll just take away our dexterity. That's true. Okay, here's another reason why we don't care about Bear's debuff, is because we have 7 dexterity right now. Like, it matters a lot when you have 0, but it doesn't matter as much when you have 7. I mean, plus we can't kill him. We'll attack Pointy because he's got the lowest health, and we can probably pick him off next turn. Vigilance seems pretty good for next turn. I don't think Eruption is right. I'll keep 1 Defend plus, and I will not keep Sash Whip. Sash Whip is fine for finishing off Pointy, but we'll probably find something else that finishes off Pointy. Okay. Oof! From 9 to 7. So brutal. Please nerf Bear. Okay, so we're gonna kill Pointy and then defend for 30. Alternate plans, can we kill 2 of them? Let's see, we can do 31. Yeah, we can kill 2, and then block out, so that seems good. Yeah. Okay, so you die, and then we're gonna kill Bear last in this game. This is like the first ever time that I've killed Bear last. He's so scary, but then sometimes he's just not scary. This looks like a power, a skill, and an attack, so I think we're gonna try and trigger the thing this turn, and this will block for 18, so we will take 2. Oh. That's really unfortunate. How did I mess that up? Is this not an elite fight? Does this not count? I thought this was an elite fight. Okay, well, I'm salty about that. That's unfortunate. We did not need to take 20 damage there. That's so strange. This is so much harder than a hallway fight. Oh my god, I did it again. Oh my god. Okay, alright, we're resetting the fight. Sorry, I apologize. I just... It seems like it's a 4-mana deck, because I keep fighting elites, but it is not. We're trying to do all this exact same stuff as before, because we are not trying to cheat. Let's see, I left... let's see, what did I leave before? I did not leave the Sash Whip. I think did I leave 1 defend or 2? I think I just left 1 defend. Oh, did I leave a Vigilance too? That's a mistake. Okay, so... Yeah, sorry, I'm not trying to cheat, but I'm not going to take 40 damage for no reason. Or I guess it was 30 damage, it's 20 plus 10. But, okay, so then in this room we killed, or in this situation we killed these 2 and left Bear alive. But wait, we didn't have enough mana? Is that the situation? Oh no, we did. Okay, we had 4 mana. Maybe this is how I tricked myself, because I had 4 mana this turn, and I didn't have 4 mana the next turn. And I guess we'll do it with Insight. Alright, so we have to actually block. So I'm not going to cast Fasting first, because we don't have a defensive card. Probably because things happened differently this time. I guess I should have Bowling Bashed first to block for 1 extra. That's a mistake. Okay, there we go. Alright, we found the red mask. Let's see. So, Just Lucky is pretty good for trying to filter draws and stuff, but the deck's full. None of these are the 1 card that I need, you know? Okay, Slavers again. So we can trigger orange pellets, so we probably should. Let's see how we're going to do it. We're going to do Fasting, and I guess we could Vigilance Eruption, because it costs 0 and gives me 8 block. So we'll do Fasting, Vigilance Eruption. Yeah, well we do have 2 Fastings, so... we're pretty likely to get it. So we'll do Fasting, and then Vigilance Eruption. So, actually, we want to... Is it more important that we get the damage from Sash Whip after... Let's see, I'm not thinking clearly. So we can Fasting, Eruption, Sash Whip, Miracle, Vigilance. And the Miracle will trigger the... whatchamacallit? Orange pellets. And we want to do it that way because that gets us both decks before we Vigilance, because we are taking damage this turn, so we want to take as little as possible. Okay, and we're going to hit the back guy, because we ideally don't want to get netted. Oh wait, we have enough damage to kill him, right? 13 plus 24, yeah. So we could hit the front guy, because we're doing exactly 37. But he's doing 1 more damage this turn, and we're still taking damage, I think. Yeah, so we're going to block for 14. So actually, we could perfectly block. Delicious. Okay, and then Miracle triggers orange pellets. And vigilance. And I guess we'll study just for fun. Okay. So we can block out really easily. We can also master reality and evaluate, which is neat. So if we do all of these things, we trigger orange pellets, which means we should crush joints before we trigger it, which actually leaves us in kind of an awkward situation where we want to like, yeah. So we're only going to take damage from Taskmaster. Oh wait, that's not true. We're going to cast both evaluate and defend, which overblocks by a bunch. So the specific when we get the dex doesn't matter. So we're going to do defend first, and then crush joints. We're getting a vulnerable charge that we're never using. So I guess we were just thinking too hard about this. Okay. Let's third eye and then insight to try and draw some attacks to finish this fight. I also like fasting. I kind of like all of this. So if I insight, I'll draw fasting, bowling bash, and sands of time. And then next turn I would draw insight and perseverance. I don't really need sands of time. I guess I'll keep it, whatever. Yeah, I'm just going to leave these all alone. Okay, so now we have played 2 skills. So ideally we want to play an attack and fasting. We are blocked out, so we... I guess fasting and then bowling bash kills him. So we should slightly prefer that. And then I guess we can consecrate, because why not? Okay, and then Sands of Time kills. Alright, that was a perfect slavers. Fun, fun. Hey, Toy Ornithopter with 2 potions. That's nice. Healing for 10, basically. Maybe more later. None of these are the cards that we've been talking about. Protect is kind of nice because you can... it retains, so you can sort of cast it on demand. We haven't been having trouble with the skill portion of orange pellets, so I don't want to keep it for that reason. Signature move is just absolute garbage for for this deck. We have a bunch of attacks, so it's rarely available. It's too expensive, so it's not good for triggering orange pellets, and it doesn't do enough damage to be relevant in Act 2, and soon Act 3. And Conclude is just not really something we're interested in doing. It doesn't do enough damage to warrant a card slot. Okay, so now we're at 70 health, so I definitely don't think we need to rest again. In fact, probably the first rest was unnecessary. We might have been able to get away with 2 smiths, given that we just perfected the slavers. He does summon dudes, so Bowling Bash continues to do relevant damage. We have gone into Divinity like once this run, so I'm feeling a little bit sad about taking Devotion. We could take Master Reality. Oh, I thought it became innate. It doesn't become innate. Being innate is valuable because we probably want to orange pellets on turn 1. Plus, if we ever get the that whatchamacallit event where you get the sort of strength mutation, then orange pellets on turn 1 is way more valuable than on other turns. The Master Reality upgrade is still relevant because costing 0 is pretty useful for a nominally 3 energy deck. Although we will have 4 energy during the boss fight. I think we're just going to do Perseverance so that we don't die. Yeah, it's the sort of most efficient. There's an argument to be made for Crush Joints or Sash Whip, since those are pretty meaningful upgrades. But I think Sash Whip as a defensive upgrade is worse than Perseverance. Especially in this fight where there's like big chunks of predictable damage coming in. Crush Joints, the vulnerable charges, are just really tough to make them matter. I guess they matter a little bit more if you can apply 2 of them at once. Because like in the context of of this deck, right, where we wanted to play our attacks before our skills, generally because of duality, um, you kind of have to like end the previous turn with a skill in order to enable crush joints. Um, uh, and then playing like a bunch of attacks is not really something that the deck is doing. So crush joints, the damage value is pretty low, since we tend to be like going into Wrath and killing people with Sands of Time. Although recently we've just been killing people with whatever's handy because we've got double fasting. Maybe we do just take that Cut Through Fate upgrade and try and get a little bit more consistency. But I think, yeah, actually, I think the Cut Through Fate is probably more valuable because the Perseverance, like, it's a great upgrade. Going from 10 block after being retained once, going to 10 after from 7 is like such a big change. But if we've got, 20 dexterity, then like it doesn't matter what number is on this card. It just matters that it says gain number block. So Cut Through Fate helps us get that number higher. Hey, we found the establishment. Alright, so we've already peeled off one of his artifact charges, and we have those attacks that can peel off the other ones. But that's not really what we're worried about right now. We could just leave Establishment alone. I guess what we really want to do is play 3 attacks this turn to get 3 decks. And then Establishment and third deck because we can afford it. That does put us into Wrath mode, which is a bit of a concern. I'm definitely going to want to use the speed pot this turn, so I'm just going to do it now, so that when I purge this debuff. Actually, I'll see what Cut Through Fate says first. I think we want the Consecrate for 1 extra dex. I am a little bit afraid of being in Wrath mode. We have quite a while to get out of it before he hyper beams us. We'll do it. We missed a little bit of damage going into it before Cut Through Fate, but I think the information we gained from Cut Through Fate was worth it. So I am going to trigger the speed pot here. We want Sands of Time to tick down, and it's going to tick down at 2 per turn, which is neat. And we want Snatch Whip to peel those artifact charges. Crush Joints also does that, so I guess we'll just keep those 3. And we're going to end our turn by triggering Punch Spots. 9 decks, not too bad for 1 turn. Although that was mostly a potion. Gee, he is hitting us really hard right away. And we can't weaken him, although we can get rid of both charges if we want. We can block for 14 plus 4 is 18, plus these 2. So 20, we can block for 20 and take 12. Unless this power pot is also fasting, which is totally possible. Yeah, I guess let's see what's in this power pot. We are not in Calm, so that block isn't relevant right now. I think I'm going to take Devotion, and then I'm going to leave it in the deck for later, for triggering Punch Ballots again. So we're going to take so we have to use Miracle this turn, so what we're going to do is do Fasting and then Miracle so that we can trigger Crush Joints and then trigger Sash Whip, and then defend to close off the... Oh wait, no. That's not good, because then Crush Joints will trigger the... whatchamacallit? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to Miracle first, and then Crush Joints and Sash Whip, missing out a little bit of damage from fasting, and then we're going to Fasting last, so that we're getting the maximum dex for this defend, because what matters is taking as little damage as possible. And peeling off the artifact charges and stuff. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh no, he got our Master Reality. What are we gonna do? So we can't trigger Orange Pellets this turn. But we could just Fasting anyway, because that debuff sticks around. But then if we trigger Fasting, then we're not blocking out. Oh wait, we can. We can evaluate and block. Oh wait, we can just enter Vigilance to block out. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. Alright, Sands of Time now costs 0. That's neat. Okay, so we got our Devotion back, so that's how we're going to trigger Orange Pellets. So we want to do as many attacks as possible, and then Devotion, and then Defend. We probably need both defense. No, we don't need both defense. Jesus. That is a lot of decks. He has Master Reality, he has Perseverance. I think we want that Perseverance back, so we can kill him. So that does 45, and that does 34. So a bit of a waste of damage. Can we kill him? Oh, we can just kill him with the 45 and 17. Oh wait, no, that's oh yeah, that's enough. Yeah. So we'll do those two, and then this on you, and then Devotion and Defense. Okay. Should we wait on Sands of Time? It's possible we should wait until we're in either Divinity or Wrath. But 34 damage is pretty good, so I think I'm just going to let it go. Plus the dex is meaningful. I did the thing where I forgot about how much mana I have again. So we're not actually going to trigger Orange Pellets this turn, because I want to block. Yeah, Fasting tripped me up. So we did not use the power, which is the sort of consumable resource of Orange Pellets. So we're in okay shape. This gets us back Master Reality, which is a power. So we could use that to trigger this turn. And this turn we could get 3 more decks. So we get Eruption, and then either of these kills him. Although we could apply Vulnerable right now. So if we Eruption, Defend... Okay, so I'm going to have 5 mana after... or 4 mana after Eruption. And then I can Defend... Defend Crush Joints... Because I want to get that Vulnerable, but I guess I can't make it matter unless I do it first. I could Crush Joints now, and then Eruption, Strike, and Master Reality Defend. But let's see. I guess so does the damage matter more if we get Vulnerable with this damage, or does it matter more if we get double on this damage? It actually matters slightly more if we get Vulnerable on these two, because it's half of 17 times 2 versus 16. So we want to Vulnerable first, then Eruption, then I guess we're striking you, which makes all the math wrong. But we need to get Master Reality so that we're doing orange pellets. All right. Oh crap! We left ourselves in wrath form for the hyper beam turn. It's a really bad idea. Okay, so we have to third eye and then cut through fate. Oh wait, no, cut through fate actually guaranteed gets us vigilance as long as we mulligan hard for it. So let's do that first thing, because that definitely has to happen. I could third eye and guarantee that vigilance is the last card. There's not really any advantage to do. Okay, so it is the last card anyway. And then let's consecrate while we're still in wrath mode, and I guess Sash Whip 2. And then go into vigilance and perseverance. So we got 2 devotions this turn. That's something. So we'll go ahead and take a strike and trigger orange pellets this turn, just for fun. Let's see. Let's keep perseverance and get rid of eruption, because he's gonna attack us again next turn, and get rid of consecrate because it doesn't do very much damage. Yeah. Okay, we can just block out with Perseverance, which is funny, or we can block out with Evaluate. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Crush Joints is being relevant. Okay. Alright, this is a good thing to think about for a second. So we've got Lessons Learned, Alpha, and Wish. I feel like a broken record, but none of these are establishment, and none of them are deceive reality, which are like the things we really want to find. But we do have Master Reality is relevant for Alpha. It also gives you a power, which is relevant for orange pellets. None of these offer debuffs, which is relevant for orange pellets. Let's see. A really unanticipated interaction has been oh my gosh. Enchiridan and orange pellets, because Enchiridan is sort of juicing your powers a little bit. You get 1 extra, and orange pellets is using those powers to good effect. In fact, this little sequence of 3 relics is pretty insane. We went from like, I don't know, it's we're going after elites deck to like oh, this is how we're winning the game deck. Pretty quickly there. Enchilada. Dude, now I'm hungry. Why'd you do that to me? Right in the middle of my stream, too. I don't know. This just doesn't seem like an alpha deck. We're doing better things than alpha. We like don't need alpha to do 50 damage a turn. Like Wish is cool because you can, get 25 extra gold or something. But like 3 strength is kind of laughable because we have lots more strength than that. The plated armor, similarly. Oh, hey, yeah, okay, I'm fasting. We're just role-playing the fasting now. So I did have a banana, so I technically broke my sleeping fast. I've had the breakfast, but, it's just a banana. It's fruit, it doesn't count, right? Pears and strawberries also don't count, so my banana also. And Lessons Learned, we do like upgrades, but Lessons Learned is like, we just don't need it that much. We need upgrades for Crush Joints and Sash Whip mostly, and like Perseverance. But like those are all pretty minor upgrades. They're nowhere near as important as like fasting. So I think we're gonna skip. I find myself skipping a lot of rare Watcher picks. Can we do busted stuff with Runic Pyramid? It seems like we can do busted stuff with Runic Pyramid. Because we could just keep a power forever. And then be like, okay, this is the turn when we're going to play 10 attacks and then purge our debuffs. But maybe we don't need that. Sosu is bad because we have Toy Ornithopter, and Toy Ornithopter is good. We could pick Tiny House. That would put us up to 100 health, which is an important milestone for me personally. It's funny because we're like fasting, but not only do we have this fruit, we're also just like super fat in terms of hit points. We're on the Watcher weight loss program. So Runic Pyramid seems like the best option, but in hallway fights we still have 3 energy, which is pretty limiting. So maybe we do need to take Sozu, even though it seems kind of silly to like have Toy Ornithopter and Sozu. Potions are less important in Act 3 slightly, especially if you have orange pellets. Well, actually, no. Okay. We have orange pellets, so we can't take Sozu because we want like Flex Pot and Speed Pot and stuff. So Sozu's out. Runic Pyramid. I'm having this like premonition where I take Runic Pyramid and then like I'm in a hallway fight with 3 energy and like fasting in my hand, and that's the power, and I'm like, oh, I can't do it. Like I need a skill or an attack that costs 0, and I don't have one, right? And like, okay, I have the Miracle for Pure Water, and I have Consecrate, so like theoretically I have both of those. Sands of Time can get down to 0, but there's a real danger of getting stranded on 3 with like a full hand of garbage with Runic Pyramid. It's better in Elite and boss fights for sure, where I have 4 energy. And the Elite and boss fights are, the ones that you're most likely to lose, so like you care most about increasing your winning percentage in those. But you can definitely lose Act 3 hallway fights for sure. And I think that's what I'm most worried about right now, because this deck is super snowbally, right? Like once we get past the first shuffle, we've probably got, 10 plus dexterity, and we've pretty much trivialized the fight. But getting through that first shuffle is a non-trivial task, and I don't think Runic Pyramid's really helping with that. So I think we're going to take Tiny House, because it's like pretty much just strictly good, and we have a potion slot. And I just kind of like Tiny House, it's kind of cute. Get in here, Tiny House. Oh, look at that! Crush Joints upgrade? Cultist Potion? Sure. And hey, it gave Carve Reality. It's not exactly Deceive Reality, but it's not Deceive Reality either, It's pretty close. It's the attack version of a Deceive Reality. But is it worth it? Reach Heaven is kind of cool because the Through Violence will be upgraded by Master Reality, and it'll be 30 damage. But Reach Heaven also is not great at working with Duality. Whereas Carve Reality is great at working with Duality. But it's not Deceive Reality, which is the real one we wanted. Alright, I think I am going to take Carve Reality, and then hopefully we'll be able to like remove a strike or something. Okay, we're pretty good at Time Lord, unlike last time, where we had to sort of cheat our way through a little bit. I want to take a shop, but this way is weird. Like, there's 3 question marks, and then 2 elites, and then, like, nothing else. I guess I can go this middle way and get, like, a bunch of fires, but, like, fires don't really add that much power to the deck anymore. So maybe what we do is we go this route, get this early shop, and then also do 3 elites in a row. Jeez. I was looking at this late shop. Man. It's like there's a lot of really aggressive lines through this map, and then there's like this really peaceful section in the middle where you just get to eat all the fires. Do I see myself being in a position where I need a bunch of fires? Hallway fights are hard. Like triple jawworms are gonna like eat me alive before I manage to get my 30 decks up. Okay, so what if I go like this way? Because I want to get a shop, right? I have to shop before the end of this act. So like this is the best one. Because I don't have quite enough now that it's super good. And also I don't want to do 2 shops in the act. So if I can avoid going to too many fights through here, I can probably survive the triple elites since there's a fire. And then make it to this shop. And be ready. Yeah, okay. I think that's the plan. Alright, shapes. And is 0 mana Diva form to start with. Okay. So we got Curve Reality and Consecrate. Consecrate's going to punch us for 8, which is sort of metal. So we played Diva form already, so yeah, we don't care about energy anymore this fight. That's for sure. So I think we're just going to not consecrate until after we've purged our debuffs, unfortunately. So here's Carve Reality coming in big, getting me 2 decks. And then we're going to purge our debuffs with that. We definitely want to keep Sands of Time. I don't think Eruption is good. Actually, Eruption is good because it helps do a lot of damage to the spikers. Crush Joints is not. And these are both unupgraded, so we'll lose them. And now we could consecrate and defend. Yeah, I guess there's no reason not to do that. Okay, so we could Eruption on you and then Sands of Time on one of the other ones to just nuke it. But then we would take... we can't kill him with Sands of Time, so we would, if we killed him, we would take 15. And that seems like kind of more than I would like to take. So maybe we just cut through Fate and look for another option that like maybe blocks a little bit. We found Fasting, but we can't. We can trigger it, but then we don't block. So I think we're actually going to mulligan away Fasting to go get that defend. Okay. So we can Sands of Time this turn. We don't really care about the cost of Sands of Time because we have a lot of energy. So we can just like Vigilance and Sands of Time. And then if we want 1 strength, we could Miracle out a power. I think we do want that 1 strength. Or 1 dex, rather. I'll take Devotion. Okay, so they are attacking for 18, and we can block that out with Fasting and double defend, or we can try and kill one. Spikers, man. I never, with Watcher, I'm never able to do enough damage to get to Spikers before they start, like, stacking up their thorns super high. Okay, so we're definitely going to Fasting. And then we're probably going to use... We need to defend before we attack. So we're going to fasting... No, this is bad. So let's do both defends before we... There's no way to do this in the right order. We can't get all the decks and purge our debuffs at the right time. It just doesn't work. So I think what we're going to do is fasting, and then both defends, and then the sash whip, and we're going to skip bowling bash. And we'll get one dex from the sash whip, but what we're really purging is the fasting debuff. I guess the fasting debuff is less relevant because of debuff form, but whatever. Okay, so we can defend to get enough block to hit him twice or him once. Probably him twice. So let's do that, and then let's cut through fate, see what we're looking for here. Take a fasting. And then we'll kill him. We will fasting and insight to... oh, we didn't need to do the insight. I lost track of my duality, or my orange pellet's state. So we're going to third eye so that we can punch him. We want to keep Sands of Time and defend. And Crush Joints. I guess Sands of Time is probably enough by itself, but whatever. Alright, the defend should be enough to block. Here's the thing. It is, and then any attack. Okay. I think Attack Pot is better than Explosive Pot. I've been holding on to that Explosive Pot since like Act 1, but to no avail. These are all just sort of attacks that don't do enough to be included in the deck. I think we're taking question marks. Hallway fights are kind of scary, because you can end up with, what are they called? The three little goopy guys that can all be hitting you for 32 on turn 1 for a total of 90 damage. It's like the #1 way to lose the game. We could upgrade all cards. We probably don't need to heal, but we are going to fight 3 elites. We could get 2 normality, and then hope that one of these is a shop, and that the other one removes the card, because normality is really bad. But in reality, you almost always want to fight a boss from Act 1, so we're going to do that. Slime Bust Part 2. Now we're way stronger than him. Okay, so we're going to fasting, and then do 2 attacks, and then that to purge our debuffs. We'll just keep attacks. Okay, yep. Hi, NG. Oh my gosh. Agnisu! Hello. Okay, so we can... So, Agnes is good. Okay. Agnes, the way this run is working is we are duality Orange Paladin. And that's the whole jam. We've also got some like fasting and stuff, so we are in good shape. This is Act 3, even though I'm fighting Act 1 elite boss. We're doing that event where you do that. So we want to do both attacks and fasting before we do a defend. So let's do Crush Joints first. Yeah. Okay, so if we do Crush Joints and Cut Through Fate, we are doing 50 damage, and that would pop him. We don't want to pop him. So I think we're just going to do... well, we want to do both. I guess we're going to settle for 1 dex this turn, because it doesn't really matter, because he's just Slab Boss. Unless we find like a bunch more attacks. Okay, we'll keep Sands of Time. And then we're gonna fasting and defense. Okay, looking pretty good. We got 7 strength, 10 dex, and we're fighting an Act 1 elite. Yes, seriously. I feel like this music is only played during the Act 3 event version of this fight. I feel like it's they play the Act 3 elite music or something. I'm not sure what it is. Okay, so we can just like we can carve reality and consecrate and bowling bash and then like strike. I think we're just gonna pop him and do like a lot of damage. Yeah, he's just dead. Okay. Cool. Act 1, boss, not hard enough. What is this? I'm on beta branch, so there could be some new stuff in here. I have never seen this before. So it seems really, really good. Yeah, has anybody else ever seen this card before? So I've cut through Fate and Third Eye, so I mean it's good, right? I'm taking it no matter what. I think that Cultist Potion is not fast enough, and that Block Potion is more relevant. Talk to the Hand is a cheap attack, which makes it good. We are also doing lots of attacks, but I don't think it's good enough. Because like Block Return is not how we're trying to get block. We're trying to get block with getting 75 dexterity. I think we do want to fight this. Relics are good. We're going to fight 3 elites in a second, so maybe not. But like, unless this elite almost kills us, then we're gonna have a fire. Okay, so what's like the worst case scenario for this, right? Because they attack for like 15 on turn 1. Huh. Interesting. I didn't know there were any like rare character specific ones. I guess I did know that. Okay. Yeah. It seems like I should have seen it at some point, but I have not. I do want that relic though. I think we're gonna go for it. This I'm feeling pretty strong, so we're gonna fight him. Thank you, Hoddington. He's seen all the relics. We got a free fasting. That's nice. So we probably don't want to go into eruption because let's see. So they're attacking for 16. They would be attacking for 32. I can block for. I can play 2 block cards. I have 6 mana this turn. Fasting costs 0. So these cost 2. So I can play the whole hand. If I play everything, I get 4 decks from attacks and 4 decks from fasting. And then that blocks for 12 and this blocks for 10. So I'd be blocking for 22 and they would be attacking for 32. So I would take 10 if I play Eruption, or I could pass on one of the decks and get 7 decks instead and not be in Eruption and block out. And it seems like that's better, plus I don't have to spend the Miracle to do it. Oh wait, I claimed that I could do this whole thing, but I can't because it costs 6 and I have 4. And I have a Miracle, but I keep treating fights like they are elite fights, and this definitely should be an elite fight, but it is a hallway fight, so I only have 4 energy, so I will do the 2, the Carve Reality and the Smite, and then the Strike, and I'll obviously do the Fasting first, and then both of these, and then this Strike. And then Miracle pops the orange pellets, and then we block for a bunch. Okay. I don't think the spaghetti dude is too hard. He's the are you talking about? Oh, I know what you're talking about. You mean the guy who like changes his attack when you hit him? Yeah, well, he is replacing Venomancer, who used to be a hallway fight. Venomancer was a brutal hallway fight, so I'm always happy when I see him. I'm like, oh, thank God you're not Venomancer. Um, but okay, so Bowling Bash does 20, 28. We could do this first to make those both do more. So we crush joints first. He takes 13 and goes to 44, and then he takes 15. So the spaghetti thing, like, it's really easy with some people, right? If you're like a silent deck that's doing like shiv stuff, then you're like, oh, whatever, I'll just hold enough shivs that I can do the right thing. But with some decks, it's like, what I'm doing is hitting people with 2-cost attacks as an ironclad, right? So you're like, you can't really hold it. You like just have to play one of them, and then if he curses you, then you're cursed for the rest of the run. It makes you sad. So this turn is scary because they are attacking for 38, and I have no defensive cards. So I probably want to cut through Fate, or kill one of them. I think I can kill one of them with Crush Joints, Bowling Bash, and Cut Through Fate. So this puts him down to 44. This does 30 damage, 15 times 2. So he'd be down to 14, and then Cut Through Fate does finish him off. But that takes all of my energy, and then I'd have to use the Block Pot, which is possibly good enough. Actually, does Consecrate kill him? No, it doesn't. He'd be at 15, and this would do 12. So he would survive at 3, I believe. So he'd be at 44, 14, yeah. So he would survive at 2. I don't know how that math got wrong, but other options, we could Cut Through Fate first and just see what it is. This is not my first stream. My first stream was Wednesday. I'm going to be doing... let me introduce myself since there's some new people in the chat. I am a game developer. I used to work for Blizzard and a bunch of other places. And now I am doing indie. I'm working for myself, and I'm going to be making a roguelike or something like that, maybe a card game. It's not done enough that I can show it to people yet, but soon enough I want to build up a community of people so that you can give feedback and watch the development and hang out with me while I'm making stuff. So the reason I'm doing Slay the Spire streams is because I think people who like Slay the Spire would probably also like the things that I make, since I really like Slay the Spire. What kind of software do you make? You make like websites or like banking software, or like, I don't know. There's a lot of places. Yeah. Oh, university. Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, the reason I went to university for software engineering is to make games, so that all paid off. I think that's a good path. Yeah, UX is honestly most of game development. Most of it is like, I'm going to build this UI, and then it's like, you playtest with it, and you're like, no, that didn't really work. It doesn't do what you need it to do. Okay, so I'm gonna start with Crushing Joints and Cut Through Fate on this guy, and then we're gonna learn some stuff from Cut Through Fate. Maybe we will change the plan. But it seems like Bowling Bash on him, and then Block Pot is maybe where we're at. We don't want to draw Fasting, so we have to draw Vigilance. Unless we want to just mulligan Fasting. Third Eye blocks for a lot. So if we take Third Eye instead of killing him, it blocks for... oh, thanks. I'm going to do streams from 8 to 11. I don't want to spend my whole day doing it, but I think 3 hours is pretty reasonable. It's enough time for people to start showing up. So I'll do for about 3 hours of streaming every day, and then I can get back to making games. What are you jealous about? Okay, so do we take Third Eye out of this? Man, this relic is crazy good. This is a lot of deciding that I get to do. Obviously, we don't want Master Reality. Its card's kind of garbage. We can't play Vigilance right now, and it seems like we either take Vigilance so that we could get Fasting next turn, or we mulligan both to get to Third Eye. Let's see. I think we're going to leave them both here. No, you know what? We don't have enough time for Fasting. Because we have 3 energy in this fight, and we've already used Miracle, we're not going to be able to use Fasting next turn. Because we would need a 0-cost attack to make that happen. That being said, I think even if I take Third Eye, I'm going to Bowling Bash this guy to death. So I think I'm just going to mulligan all of them and see what the last one is. Okay, it's a strike. Womp womp. Okay, so let's see. That does 13 to him. So we could kill him with strike. It's not really any better for any reason. I think... Okay, so we're going to use the block pot, so I'm going to save the attack potion. Ooh, I gotta be careful with that, because I almost overhealed myself and lost some Toy Ornithopter value. So we're gonna kill him with that, and then just take 7. Okay, we can make him weak, which seems really good. I know I said that we can't trigger Fasting next turn, but we totally are. Actually, if we do that, we're taking 19 damage, which seems like it's probably too much. Okay, so let's start out with Sash Whip to get him weak, and then we can block out. Yeah, I guess we're going to trigger Fasting. No! Why do I keep doing this to myself? Alright, we're just going to take 12, or 14. That was an obvious mistake, but I don't want to go back and redo the fight. Okay, so now we've got a bunch of energy, so we're just going to double block and strike. And then, Sands of Time will be lethal soon. Soon TM. If we do these, is that lethal? That's lethal. Okay, great. We can no longer be frail. Diva Form is something we could do. Foreign Influence is better than it normally is, because they become upgraded if we play Master Reality. But Diva Form is not really necessary because we have 4 energy in boss and elite fights, so I don't think that's what we're going to do. We're just going to skip all these. Halt is obviously terrible because we're never in Wrath mode, don't draw enough cards. Foreign Influence is just... it's a hard card to be good. Although it is both a skill and an attack, and if you upgrade it, they're both got a 0, which is pretty crazy. But we don't have time to upgrade it. So, all right, no fight. Oh, it's a store. Lots of stuff. None of it seems super great. I'm tempted to just take a card remove and a flex spot, and then save the rest of the money for this store. Flex spot is really good because we can purge this debuff. I'm Ascension 20 on all the other characters. I haven't done like a ton of runs at Ascension 20, but I have killed the heart on Ascension 20 with all the characters, other than Watcher. Card remove costs 100. Get rid of a strike. Strike is so bad in this deck. It does give you a dex, but it's not worth it at all. These cards, none of them are even close to good enough. So yeah, I think Flex Spot and card remove costs 150. We'll definitely have enough money by the time we get to the next store to buy a relic. And none of these relics are good enough. We're very unlikely to... Actually, we are fairly likely in hallway fights to play 3 or less cards. So maybe Paga Watch is valuable. It's not really... We don't have to talk about it because we can't afford it. Costs colorless cards aren't good enough to make Toolbox worth it, and Mercury Hourglass is too slow. Also, for almost 300, why does this cost so much? Okay, so Flex Spot and remove a strike. Alright. Uh-oh, we got Darklings. Foresight is nuts because we have Goldeneye. So let's see, can we... I guess we're doing 2 attacks, and the only skills we have are Miracle and Perseverance. So I guess we're using Perseverance this turn, just to trigger Orange Pellets? Is that right? I think we're going to do the attack bot too. This fight's pretty dangerous. We have a second Sands of Time, and it costs 0 this turn, so okay. So we could play both Sands of Times and just Miracle to get the Foresight. Or let's see. So both Sands of Times, Miracle, and a Strike. So it would be 3 decks, or we could do. Yeah, I like using the Miracle better than the Perseverance, because I wanted the Perseverance to be available for next turn. So we're going to use both Sands of Time, and which means we get to kill one of them if we want. I think because of timing issues, we don't want to kill one. But we want to leave this one really low. Here you go. All right. Also, I have a cat. This is Coconut. Okay, so we get to scry for 5 at the beginning of the turn, so we basically get to decide what's in our hand next. We want to keep Bowling Bash because it does a bunch of damage. No Eruption. I think yes on Consecrate, because we might need to do Fasting, Consecrate, Evaluate. Although, if we're keeping Bowling Bash, like, which of these are we planning on playing? I think we're going to skip Bowling Bash in favor of Consecrate. So they're all attacking, which is neat. So maybe we need to think about triple blocking this turn instead of fasting. Okay, so if we fast, we're doing Fasting, Consecrate, and then probably Defend Plus. And if we do that, we block for 4, 5, 16, and they're attacking for 32, so we would take 16, or we can triple block and take nothing. I don't know. I mean, if we just triple block, we take nothing, and we've got another Fasting in the deck, so it's not like we're in any hurry. It does kind of suck that Consecrate's totally useless this turn, but I think it will have its time. Oh, I guess we're taking a little bit of damage anyway. I thought we weren't, but... okay, so here's another Fasting. There's no 0 cost attack with it, though, so we're going to mulligan it. We're going to keep it Defend. We don't know if they're attacking yet, right? Yeah. Oh, we do. Wow. Okay, so they are attacking for 22. I have Perseverance for 12. I will keep the Defend and the Card Reality. And maybe Satchel is useful. Probably not, but maybe. Okay, so we have Third Eye. So we can Third Eye Defend as long as we play Carve Reality and block out. So let's do that. Third Eye lets us look at the rest of our deck. I'll keep the Cut Through Fate. So this is looking like maybe it's finally a Orange Pellet turn. But we need to find a block to go with it. So we're going to plan on Cut Through Fate, Insight, Powering, and finding a block somewhere. we are going to defend to block out. Okay. We just looked at these, we don't need to look at them again. Okay, so we're only getting attacked for 10. So hopefully this Cut Through Fate finds me a way to block for that. Which of course it does, because we're looking at 5 cards. I'm gonna get rid of this fasting, it's just not happening this fight. Okay, so we use an attack. We are going to use a devotion and an evaluate to keep the 1 dexterity that we got. Hallway fights are a real struggle with this character. We need that Sands of Time to start ticking, and Bowling Bash is pretty good. I'll mulligan these and look for a defending card. Okay, I think, so this is the reason why we set this Darkling to super low, so that we can just, like, in an emergency, we can just kill him really quick. Because this is an emergency, so we're getting attacked for 18, 36, 46. We can't kill a second one, we can only kill 1. So if we kill 1 and defend, and presumably find another defend, then we are blocking for like 29 and taking, and that blocks out just about perfectly. Okay, so let's see what Insight says. Oh, we got fasting. We can't afford that though, right? Yeah, no, definitely not. Okay, so we're going to Bowling Bash you so that we can hold on to the smite. And then we're going to use this one for sure. And then if we did this, we would block for 23 versus 29. Hey, come here. You say you don't want cat, but really, cat just yells at you a lot. Why are you yelling at me? Okay, here you go. Okay, so they are attacking for 28, right? 18 plus 10, yeah. Okay, 28, so I want to block for 29, so let's do that. Okay, let's get rid of Ascender's Bane, keep Sands of Time, and oh yeah, I forgot that I can see what they're doing. Okay, they're not attacking. This is a turn. Get them. Okay, and then so I'm going to probably. I want to do. Okay, so this Insight is a skill, and then I can hopefully play 2 attacks and find Master Reality. But I guess I'll take a fasting if I can find one. Okay, there's Master Reality, so we'll do Smite and Carve Reality. And then Master Reality. Oh, Order! I could have gotten an upgraded Smite. Oh wait, no, I couldn't have done that. It would have cost me 1 dexterity to do that, which is not worth it. Okay, he's back. What are they doing? They're attacking for 38. What a bunch of jerks. Do you believe that, Coconut? Sorry, how did you wish to be addressed? It was Angie? I'm scrolling up. Agnes. Agnes said your meow is really cool. Wow, you're famous, Coconut. Okay, so these are the cards I can draw. I'm getting attacked for 38. This blocks for 21. So I don't have time for fasting because I never will. Let's keep Cut Through Fate because it's crazy. And get rid of these two because I need to find another block card. Okay, we're pretty much always going to consecrate. Unless there's a reason to not want to do that first. I guess crush joints was the reason not to do that first. Whatever. We can block out with these two, so let's cut through fate and see what other options are. More fasting, no thank you. Maybe we'll keep evaluate. Let's see, which card do we want is the real question. I think we want to play evaluate and defend. Does that block out? I can't see how much defend blocks for. It should block for 12 because I have 7 armor. So 12 on that and 13 on evaluate is actually not enough. And I would take a significant amount of damage. So I think I'm going to do perseverance. I guess I'll do perseverance and evaluate. Is this more than I thought? So they're attacking for 38. I could block for 30 and take 8, or I could block for 37 and take 1. Well, taking 1 sounds really efficient, so let's do that. It's almost time. Sands of time. Just hold on a little longer. Okay, we could kill 2 of them, the 2 that are attacking, or we just block their damage. Is it time? Do we get to block? Do we get to fasting? I think we do. So we're gonna fasting consecrate third eye to block out. We get to see all the cards in the deck. We don't really need crush joints. Yeah, I think I'll keep the 2 defend pluses and the card reality. Okay. I think we got this fight under control. These guys are low enough that we can finish them off. If we need to. Oh my god, we're in Divinity. I forgot that was a possibility. So we'll just do casual 90 damage Sands of Time. Okay. We made it through. We just waited for long enough until we turned into a god. None of these cards are the card we need. Yeah, you know, Divinity is actually something I hadn't been thinking about for how to win hallway fights, but it really does relax the energy economy that's so strict with the fastings and trying to get powers. I already looked at these. So we're down here. Okay, so now I'm fighting Elite. It's a tiny giant head. He's a giant head, but he's smaller than normal. Okay, so we want to do as many attacks as we can find, and then Master Reality. So we have 6 energy this turn, and we only have 4 attacks, unless we cut through Fate and find specifically Carve Reality, in which case we get 1 extra attack. So if we do that, we get Carve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we can miracle out either Devotion or Master Reality, whichever we choose. Probably Master Reality, because Carve generates a card. Although I guess we can't make that timing work out, can we? No, because we have to third eye first to maximize our chances of finding it? Or do we just trust cut through Fate to find it? I guess we should third eye first because we get an extra 10% damage if we do it in that order. Yeah, I think that's the plan. So let's third eye and see what our options are. We could go into Eruption, actually. That's pretty good. Okay, so our choices here are we could go into Eruption or we could start fasting. Or we could start ticking down the cost on Sands of Time. I kind of like the idea of fasting. Yeah, okay, so if we do fasting, then we spend cut through Fate to draw it, and we miracle out, we play cut through Fate and 2 attacks, that's 3 energy, and then we miracle out fasting. Yeah, so we end up purging the fasting debuff and the 3 fleeting dexterity. Okay. Oh, there's 2 fastings. So I will get rid of this and that. And then, should we play on fasting again next turn? Yeah, why not? Okay, so we have to do the attacks first, because otherwise we will purge too early. Just making sure I do all the math right. Okay, cool. And we could play Master Reality, but I don't think we will. We might need more purges later. Although, will we really? I don't know. We've already got 1 copy of Master Reality. Do we really need to save a second one just for triggering launch pellets? I think not. I think I'd rather have upgraded cards in the deck. Okay, so we can trigger pellets again, but we'd only get 1 dex, but I think that's enough. We're going to do it in this order so that we get the most damage from the strike. Okay, so now we basically just want to focus on hitting him as hard as we can. So we defend first, and then crush joints double strike from that. Okay. Alright, he's not attacking this turn, so ideally we would spend all 4 energy attacking. Let's find out what our hand is first. We got Cut Through Fate, so we still don't quite know. So let's find out. We could have Eruption, but I think we want to start ticking down Sands of Time. And we want to get rid of that defend. Maybe we don't even need to tick down Sands of Time. It seems like we've got enough damage to almost start killing him. I said right before I took 20 plus damage. Yeah, I don't see anything better to do this turn than just Crush Joints, play a Power, and Perseverance. So we're going to take 16. And we're going to start getting Mantra. Maybe we'll get that Surprise Divinity again later. I guess it's not a surprise if you know it's coming. Do we have Lethal? Carve, Smite, Sands of Time. So we've got 8. So 14 plus 20 is 34 plus 34. Nope. So we should play both of these blocks, and that's 43, so we need to play 1 attack with them to make it full blocking. And I'll play this attack too. Oh man, I forgot this involved decisions. I think I can ignore the decisions though, because Smite plus Sands of Time is lethal for next turn. Ginger. Wow, we have Turnip and Ginger. It's weird how these are getting ordered like that, right next to each other. It's the same thing. So we just, like, we can have debuffs applied to us, but they don't really work, and then we can just remove them. So, pretty good deck at fighting people who debuff you. Okay, so we could take an upgrade, because we have 62 health. And it seems like a pretty reasonable argument that we'd be able to get through the next couple fights. But there's no upgrade that we like really need, right? We're not like trying to upgrade a diva form or something. Like Devotion kinda, and then like Perseverance, it's like it's kind of a marginal boost. So I think we are actually going to rest just to make sure we don't die. Plus that card reward. No, these are all bad. We could consider taking a hallway fight instead of an elite, but honestly, hallway fights are more dangerous because of Slaver Scholar. Alright, Venomancer. The hallway fight combination elite fight. We have a power, so we got to think about purging debuffs this turn. But we only have one attack, so that's kind of lame. We'll probably just flex pop, which almost lets us kill a dagger. That's awkward. It would be really nice if we could draw a card. We can't. So third eye plus defend is going to block out, especially with the strike. Maybe we consider not purging this turn. No, I think we're gonna use the flex spot because this fight's dangerous. It's more dangerous than either of the next two, which is going to be either Nemesis or Giant Head again. Giant Head we're great against, as we just saw. We like scale up super well when he's ignoring us. And Nemesis, actually we're not very good against Nemesis because he fills your deck with garbage. We don't have enough draw to really get around that. But whatever. So we're going to punch one of these, and then third eye to see what's coming up next. So we want to get that fasting online, and I think we probably can next turn. So we'll get rid of the other power. We'll keep Crush Joints, and we'll try to end this turn with a skill. And we'll keep this skill. Yeah, we have a ton of Scry, which is, and it's just so powerful with Golden Eye. Okay, so we've done an attack and a defend. I guess I'll do another defend, and then we are gonna develop Foresight. I also want to do Master Reality, just because it does matter. So I guess this fight shuffles a lot of stuff too. So this is our plan. Fasting, Crush Joints, Evaluate. Consecrate is nice because it finishes off the one we weakened last turn. So we can Crush Joints on the one that's attacking for 25, and then AoE them both down. This it's not highlighting them like it did before. Oh, if you click on it, it highlights it. So Crush Joints actually is not active. I don't remember what I did at the end of the turn, but it wasn't a whatchamacallit, skill. So I'll have to evaluate first, and then Crush Joints, Consecrate, then Fasting. And Defend isn't part of that plan, so I'll mulligan it, but I don't know. It could be kept. I don't feel strongly about it. Okay, so first up is Evaluate, which is going to end up blocking the damage from him. Oh, Crush Joints just kills him. There's no point in getting the whatchamacallit, the Consecrate value. Okay, so whatever. Oh, you know what? I should have Crush Joints on this one, because then... Oh, wait. No, I'll just kill them both. Yeah. Right? And then we'll have to Miracle to get the debuff purge, but that's fine. We're looking for another attack, ideally, and Bowling Bash is pretty much the best one. Okay, so we're going to Bowling Bash before we Consecrate, because Consecrate kills two things. Just making sure my math all lines up here. So and then we're going to Miracle out Fasting. Yeah, okay. Ton of damage with that. Consecrate, and then Miracle, and then Fasting for the Purge. Yep, sweet. We'll keep Sands of Time. I do get to see if they're attacking. They are attacking, so we're going to keep Vigilance, I think. Just because we don't know what all we're getting. Okay, so we don't have a power, so we can't Purge this turn, but we wouldn't really want to anyway. We have Defend and Vigilance is our only block outside of Perseverance. we're always going to consecrate first. And then I guess we can just see how much block this is. So 33, so I could block, so I'm taking 8 right now. Perseverance blocks for quite a bit more than 8, but I think there's a reasonable chance that I don't take any more damage this fight, so I'm gonna Perseverance. You're on? Hello, what's the problem? I'm gonna create a sunspot for my cat. It's very tactically important so that my cat stops yelling at me. Put a pillow on the sunspot. It's an important component. Okay, what are they doing? So we're getting attacked for 25, but that's easily dealt with Cut Through Fate. So let's get rid of these defensive cards and that also somewhat defensive card. Oh, we found Bowling Bash, so we'll go ahead and Bowling Bash you. Carve Reality there. And these decisions aren't super important because we basically have guaranteed lethal, so we'll just smite him next turn. Okay, sure. And perfect. Neat. Dead Branch, what? I actually need to think about that for a second. It's not an auto pick. So we could take Study Plus. Study Plus is an extra power, so it works pretty well with Orange Pellets. It also works with Master Reality and helps us draw a bunch more. We are facing Time Lord though, so we don't want to draw a ton. So I think we're going to pass on Study. I think we're good enough to fight Time Lord. We don't need it. Okay, so do we want Dead Branch? Dead Branch is great because when you exhaust stuff, you get new stuff. We don't have anything that exhausts except for Ascender's Bane. So the real question is, when we get rid of Ascender's Bane, do we want another random card to replace it? I think yes. I'm not expecting that. Oh, that's true. It does work with Insight. That's true. Yep. Yeah, so both of the created cards also get stuff. Well, I think that's... So we don't want to fill the deck up with garbage, but after we've shuffled through a couple times, it would be nice to generate more powers. Am I thinking about this right? It puts it in your hand, right? Yeah. Let's see. So if we generate more powers, we can do more debuff purging. But also, we'd be filling our hand with stuff that maybe isn't good against Time Lord. Okay, is the average random card good against Time Lord? Is the real question. And I think the answer is yes, because the average card sometimes is a block card. And that sometimes is enough. That it's like, okay, we need a block card right now, we'll play an Insight that either draws a block card or maybe generates one. So we are going to take Dead Branch. I mean, usually Dead Branch is like a super obvious positive, so it's not like hard to convince me that it's good, but hey, we found Shuriken. We don't really need that, but sure. Okay, it is Giant Head again. Another tiny Giant Head. And he is attacking. So we want to do as many attacks as we can, as well as fasting, and then something to purge the debuffs. Despite the fact that he has this slow property, we don't want to do the defend first. We want to do the defend last, because we want the defend to get the dexterity from fasting and stuff, so that it blocks out. Actually, we could defend plus right now, but then we'd be losing out on fasting's strength for the attacks. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. I think we're going to defend last. Okay, so we're going to... but Crush Joints also is a thing. This is tricky. So if we fasting first, then we can't get Crush Joints value without sacrificing dexterity. But I don't think we really need Crush Joints value. I think what we really need is to get a bunch of dexterity and strength this turn. and then in the future we'll just kill him with something else. Okay, so we're going to do fasting first, and we're going to do cut through fate to see what our options are. It's appealing to get Sands of Time ticking, but I think we would rather get 1 dexterity this turn. So I will take Sash Whip, which blocks a little bit, and isn't really... Actually, it's not really necessary to block a little bit, so I'll prefer the damage of Strike. Okay, and we'll get these 2 in there, and then go ahead and Miracle out. Judgment! No. It'd be super bad manners if we can Judgment on Giant Head. And then I think we will save like water. No. We're in good enough shape that we don't need to save it. We should have like watered at the very beginning because we would have got an extra tick of slow. Okay, so now we only have 4 energy, so we could, no, because both our skill and our power cost 4, so we can't, whatchamacallit. I guess if we got a 0 cost something from Carve Reality, if we got a 0 cost skill from the Smite, we could do it. But, I guess we'll try that. It's pretty unlikely to work, but... Oh my god, it happened! Wow. Cool. And it blocks. Wow, jeez, that was really improbable. But I guess that's why you play your outs, right? Sometimes it works. I guess we'll take the 2 decks, sure. Ha! He tried to weaken us. That can't happen. This is so ridiculous. We're so resistant to debuffs. It's very silly. Let's insight and see what's in our hands. Okay. We'll just strike and evaluate, and I guess vigilance. Oops, yeah, did that in the wrong order, because the skills should have gone first. Here's our opportunity to Judgment on Giant Head, if we can pull that off. Let's see. Yeah, they're pretty bad, because Orange Pellets. But Orange Pellets is so good, right? Like, I'm fine if Orange Pellets takes up 3 relic slots, you know? Like, whatever. Okay, so we need to block for 40, so which probably means we're playing Prostrate and Perseverance this turn. So I guess let's start off with that. We are pretty close to Divinity, so we're going to be in Divinity next turn, which will not be a surprise. So I think we're probably just going to kill him next turn. So what we're going to do this turn is these 2 skills and Foreign Influence, and then these attacks. And we have 1 extra mana, which will probably be taken by the Foreign Influence card. Oh man, he's going to be vulnerable for our Divinity turn too. That's nuts. Oops, should have played the first half of Foreign Influence first. Normally I would take Dagger Throw because it's the best one that I can play right now, but I don't want to draw... wait. There's nothing that's bad to draw. If I draw Sands of Time, I just put back Judgment. So I'll take Dagger Throw. Oh my god, we got Deceive Reality, finally! Okay. Alright, and then we're going into Divinity next turn. Yeah, that's lethal. White Beast Statue, so that's really good with Toy Ornithopter. We've got a lot of relics. We can't really start Stance Dancing. Tantrum is terrible. in this deck, and Simmering Fury likewise. Okay, so this fight. So we do have enough money to go to this store again. Triple Jawworms. We got a 0 mana establishment, so we can get 4 permanent decks this turn, but we don't have any block. So that's unfortunate. And we have to use our Miracle as the skill. Can we kill this Jawworm? So Crush Joints, and then Sash. So that's 10 plus 12, right? Yeah, 12. So that's 22 plus. This turns into 14, right? No, it turns into 13. So 13 plus 22 is 35. Plus 7. No, so it's not even close. But whatever, it's the best thing we can do. Oh, I forgot that's creating a card. We're not going to be in Wrath, so this doesn't matter. And we don't want to enter Wrath, so we're not playing it. Oh, I forgot about the strength from Shuriken. Okay. Oh, hey, Master Reality upgrades the cards that Dead Branch creates. That's pretty neat. Alright, so now we only have 3 energy this turn. Probably gonna draw Fasting. This is lethal, so we can kill him with that, but he's not even attacking this turn. Irritating. So we can Carve Reality, double defend. Which we still take a bunch of damage, but there's nothing really better we can do, so. Alright, Dead Branch is super good. I never should have doubted you, Dead Branch. Can we kill this Jawworm? We have Eruption, and then 2 0-cost attacks, so Eruption is 10, which takes him down to 38, and then this does, geez, 34? Yeah, we can definitely kill him. Wow. Okay, so we're doing that, and then I guess I'll Consecrate first. There's no way I'm smiting the other guy, right? There is, I am smiting the other guy. Wow. Surprise, surprise. Wow, White Beast statue is so good. We could take Prostrate, but it mainly helps us in like hallway fights where we're having trouble with mana and finding skills, so I think we're going to skip. Alright, what's in the shop? Wow, Kunai! Are you serious? Jesus Christ. This deck is insanely lucky. We could also take Thread Needle. It's a little bit better against specifically Time Lord, but that is specifically who we're fighting, so. Man. Are we actually doing 3 attacks per turn against Time Lord? It seems like stacking strength is good. I mean, I've never had a run where you get both Shuriken and Kunai. It's like, how could you pass on that? That's insane. But it's not, I don't really need to, because I have orange pellets. Like, what is happening? This is... Yeah, I need to, like, pick a win condition, but I have multiples that are going to work. Like, there's no chance that either of those isn't good enough. I guess it will take both, and then if one doesn't work, I'll use the other one. And then I think I want to use Bottled Miracle. Or, no. So I was thinking with Bottled Miracle that it exhausts cards, and that's good with Dead Branch, but I don't think that's actually what we want to be doing against Time Lord. Also, I should be thinking when I buy this potion, most likely I'm going to have another fight, and I'm going to be spending this potion in that fight, because that fight is guaranteed to generate a potion. I think an attack potion is more valuable than a power potion, because it generates a 0-cost attack, which is pretty relevant for hallway fights, which is most likely where I'm spending this. Nirvana's kind of neat. I wish I'd considered this up front, but I just realized I can still afford it, and it takes me to exactly 0 gold, which is tempting. So the only cards in our deck that scry are whatchamacallit, Cut Through Fate and Third Eye, but we have been generating that 1 power a lot that scries. But that's just luck, right? There's no way to guarantee that happens, so I'm not going to take Nirvana. I think we want the 2 question marks, because hallway fights are hard for this deck. Oh, okay. We get the hardest hallway fight. No big deal. Okay, so we have fasting, so we should probably... This is a really dangerous situation because I want to spend... Okay, so here's the plan. So we're going to do fasting and these 2 attacks, and then if we need to do another attack, we can Sash Whip. But hopefully we just fasting these 2 attacks and defend, and we get to save the miracle. Yeah, that's fine. Great. Okay. I can still become vulnerable. I haven't purged every type of debuff. So even though I don't have... I don't have a power, so I can't purge the vulnerable, which is unfortunate. And I could have bought a power pot, but I bought an attack pot instead. So a power pot would have clearly been better here. Actually, let's Cut Through Fate and see... Maybe we have another way out of this. We have Master Reality, so we can just do that instead. I'll keep Sands of Time there. Those are presented in order, so that's how that works. Okay, so we are gonna do... Let's see, so we have to Miracle this turn. But I think we're gonna plan on... He's attacking for 24. Alright, we're gonna take a shot that he's gonna hit us for less than 24 if we strike him. It didn't work. This is actually not too bad because we get to purge the vulnerable, but it's still pretty bad. Okay, so now defend blocks out. I am not going to use the smite because I can't guarantee that I'll block out whatever else he would turn into. I guess I'll develop Wreath of Flames. And sure, why not? Alright, so we have fasting. He's hitting us for 27, and we can't really block for that much. We can block for 15. Let's see what's in the deck. Okay, so now we can block it out. And I think we will. I think we're going to pray this turn. Just because I don't want to hit him. And going into Divinity and killing him with Sands of Time seems like a good idea. Okay, so we can block out with Vigilance, which means we probably should. Judged. He was judged and found worthy. Can we can, I guess we can just stack Wreath of Flames. Yeah, I think this is just Divinity Waiting Room. I need to find that power first, obviously. But okay, so we've got a bunch of attacks this turn, so let's take a chance. Let's see what he's got. Okay, we can block for 37, so let's do that instead of rolling again. Let's consecrate and hopefully fasting third eye. Let's see. So we would take a small amount of damage. Oh, we can. We could third eye like water. It kind of defeats the purpose, though. Do we just have lethal? Yeah, we do. So it's 17, 34, 45. And he's at 40. No, we don't have lethal. Darn. Let's see. I don't want to take a curse. That would be really bad for me. So I'm going to fasting and third eye, which guarantees that we take 3 damage, but there are worse outcomes than taking 3 damage. I don't know. I'll keep Perseverance and Cut Through Fate and Mulligan the rest. And Wreath Flame for some reason. Okay, we can just Wreath Flames and Sandstone. Cool. Got him. I keep forgetting to use my potions. I wish I could just drink this now, even though it doesn't do anything, just to trigger Toy Around after. I think Swift Potion is quite bad against Time Lord, so I'm going to not use that. Nope. These are all bad. I never did find that establishment. We're not really doing enough mantra stuff, and this is bad against Time Lord because you're kind of playing 2 cards that don't do anything. And Protect is actually kind of good. Maybe we should take Protect. Because we never did find that Deceive Reality. So maybe this can be like a poor man's Deceive Reality. It costs 2 though, but we have 4 during boss fights. Yeah, I think I'll take it. It's just a really efficient card. 1 card to block for 16. Why is there another merchant here? God damn it. There's our establishment, finally. But it's too late. And we don't have the money. We could buy another speed pot. That seems really good. So let's do that. I think we're going to rest here. We don't have anything that we need as badly as we need 30 health. We're not taking any of these against Time Lord. Okay, here we go. Battle him. It's not really a good one. Okay, so we want to purge this turn, but let's Cut Through Fate first and see what the options are. Okay, we could go get fasting. Yeah, I think I prefer that to letting Sands of Time tick. Okay, so we're going to develop that, and we're going to play both of these, and fasting, and then a block card. And we're going to stand there, only 3 cards played, blocking out. Okay, we got Sands of Time, we want that to start ticking down. We could Sash Whip to weaken him, but third eye blocks out by itself. So let's let it do its thing. We do want Devotion for sure in this fight, so we're going to leave Devotion. We're going to try to set up a turn where we're... okay, so the best turn is Devotion, 3 attacks, and a skill, right? Because then we get 1 strength, 1 dex, and also 3 dex. I don't know how we get that exactly, because we already mulliganed to like Consecrate. So it seems like we probably can't pull that off. So maybe we just need to wait until Sands of Time costs 0 to start thinking about that. And maybe we should just develop the fasting next turn. So let's plan on Crush Joints, Fasting, and Evaluate next turn. And Mulligan the rest. Okay, this makes me take 3. Actually, it doesn't because fasting. So we're going to Crush Joints, Fasting, Evaluate. Okay. He's not doing anything now, so I think we're going to not play any cards. We are actually in danger of exceeding our hand size. We're currently retaining 5 cards, which is okay, but if we retain 6, then we would lose out on some draws. There's an argument to be made that we could Vigilance this turn. At some point, we do need to enter either Divinity or Wrath to finish him off. But I think that point is not yet. I wish I could play 3 attacks this turn, but can't. 3 attacks and 2 other cards would be fine. Oh, I forgot about the branch, so we are missing out on a draw here. Hitting us for 36. We could purge the vulnerable if we had a power, which we do. So let's see, ideally we play 5 cards this turn, 3 attacks, devotion, and a skill. But we only have 4 energy, so one of those would have to cost 0. So maybe we're going to downgrade to 2 attacks, devotion, and then a skill. Which seems fine. And then we'll like Miracle or Insight or something just to... Or... I wish Sands of Time cost 1 less right now. Yeah, so let's get Crush Joints and Strike down. And then Devotion and Defend. So that should block out, it does. And then I'm going to play either Mantra, Insight, or Miracle just to get it out of my hand. I think it's going to be the Insight. Yeah, okay. Let's see, so we need to block for 30, but we can do that with 1 card. So we can block for 30 and attack him 3 times, which seems good. Okay. More turns like that, please. So we haven't played Master Reality yet, which is awkward. We should play 3 attacks and Master Reality now. Which would be 4 cards, which take us to 8, which gives us plenty of room to block next turn. Maybe. Well, we can block with 2 cards, and then we probably want to. We could go into Divinity right now. I think we kind of want to go into Divinity, like next turn or the turn after. Ideally, we're going into Divinity and killing him. So if we plan on doing it in 2 turns, we can probably get back to Sands of Time. So let's Third Eye and try to find that Sands of Time. There it is. We don't really need Eruption per se. But we should try and do Crush Joints. Yeah, let's do it like that. So we'll do that and defend, and then I think we want to, let's see, should we plan on blocking with 2 cards next turn? I think we can reliably do that because we have Perseverance and Protect in hand. So I will leave myself 2 cards for next turn. And yeah, and then we're gonna stand some time. Oh, was it a possibility for me to set up Crush Joints on the... Well, I guess I could just Crush Joints now and then Protect. And I'll take a little bit of damage, I think. Oh no, that actually blocks perfectly. Yeah, so I'll Crush Joints, Protect, and then he is vulnerable for my Divinity turn with Sands of Time in hand. And this does not cause the transform. So we're not worrying about that yet. Okay, so we're in Divinity. We can just eat 36 damage right now. And it looks like we can also just, like, kill him. Yeah. I was planning on just transforming him, but I'll take a kill. That works. Okay, next we're on to Ascension 17. But that's going to be it for me today. I got to eat some lunch. It's too much fasting during that run for me. I will post a link to my Discord if you guys want to keep following me. But I will also be live just tomorrow, same time, 8 o'clock. Thanks for checking me out, and I will let you guys know when I have a game for you to play. Bye.